this series.
Yeah, that was
it's a different game, totally different game as well. I think that you were in a position, they didn't have a true frontliner, which in this game you do as Vici. They have the Dusa, they recognize the importance in the lineup, and I think that's the key, because when Furion's playing with these more second go guys like Luna SF, you don't have that hero that's just that's drawing the fire that allows you to find nice sides to go and kill supports, get on top of the Enigma. I think, and Venge with Prophet, I remember, I don't want to name the team, but they were talking about how if they get Venge support, they love core Prophet because the lane is great. You get the Blightstone with the wave of terror.
And you're doing a lot of damage. You're a minus armor guy.
I love the minus armor.
Aren't you a little worried? Disruptor Nature's probably vengeful. It was kind of like NP's last game. You have these real squishy heroes like in the like kind of 10 to 15 minute mark.
For sure, but it's that you have the Dusa, and I don't think NIP have quite the same threat in the sense that they don't
Magic hero.
Yeah, you know what this is a much more linear power spike, whereas when it was a troll PA with Empower, you're like, oh crap, like we are losing the game every minute because they can farm so fast. You don't have that same threat from the NIP trio at the moment.
I think you got to pick some burst damage here, right? You got to eventually get some. They do not. All right, they go with the PL, and well, there's Ace's hero. We talked about he's a little more limited, but this is one of his best ones along with Naga.
But is it a good hero anymore?
I don't think it's a good hero, but I've seen it have really good games. That's the thing. Like, when it has a game, it is a real good game. When it doesn't, it is looking like real
And you
garbage.
still build a diffusal on it, so you're still good against Medusa.
Yes.
So that is always nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good in matchups against Venge. Yeah, it's good in matchups against Venge and P. Like, you don't really have true lockdown for the PL. Obviously, the Disruptor ult can come out, but you can doppel the Glimpse pretty reliably.
You can dodge the stun, magic missile as well. Even if it comes to if it comes to the real one, you can dodge it.
If there's a PL game, this is it.
Yeah,
it's looking pretty good.
The question is, do you offlane the Enigma or do you pick a support hero? Like, is it a 3-3 or a Soxa hero? I think it's a 3-3 hero.
I think the last pick is going to be a 3-3 hero.
Yeah.
What do you want? Because you have your HOD, although Enigma could theoretically go for the mech, so you could go something wild. Like
I would like to see Sand King.
They got a ban.
I got it.
What?
They're gonna pick Lycan.
You think?
I think a Lycan and a PL.
And you're all in.
I don't
just go for it.
Dude,
you're
gonna die. You're gonna lose in 22 minutes again if that happens.
You think?
What? Who is?
How are you gonna fight for the first 10 minutes? You're gonna lose your lanes. Haven't you just been preaching about how winning your lanes wins games?
I think
if you pick a Lycan here, you do not win.
You can't lose you just deny, and then eventually you have all these items, and you just go.
Yeah, the keyword being eventually.
But it could work.
We'll see what NIP do.
It definitely is a 33er because Peter definitely said something. He said something back, so they just skipped right over Sox. They're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
What you have to
it could be. I'm thinking it's like a Visage or a Lycan, maybe a Pugna, but I don't like Pugna at all.
If you mention enough heroes, I'm sure the right hero will be part of it.
All right, 3-3 will buy a Helm of the Dominator. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. What do you think, Grant?
Lone Druid?
I was thinking it through his heroes, right? Because he has pretty specific heroes,
Yeah.
and I was like, Broodmother's not bad. The problem is your 9th, not 10th pick.
Mm-hmm.
But they could still do it if they truly want the Solar Crest build's not bad. I kind of like the Lone Druid. It is very greedy though.
And it is the Sand King, as I said.
Yeah, less greedy.
I did say that.
You did, and it's a lot less greedy. I like it in the fact that Sand King and Enigma they're going to be like 3.5, where they both need farm. But they both need to be active on the map, I think, eventually. I like it. I'm glad they didn't go for some greedy.
I'm okay with it, but I am... Well, we'll see. Their team fight is very, very good now. You can have the max ice path from Peter, so it's easy setup stuns.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a ton... It's so nice to play PL, where you can kind of capitalize on the chaos you create in fights because you have so much to follow up. You've got stuns from the Sand King. You've got Razor just going full.
And you know you're safe, right? Like, if a PL jumps out, you have an Ice Path, a Black Hole, a Sand King.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually fine getting out. And I said, that's one of their most played. I'm not a big fan of this. I used to love this hero.
Me too.
But this is like the only team that makes it look good. And they are playing it. So you got more minus armor, which you love. They're squishy, though. They are very squishy.
It feels like this will just be about, the current meta is who's going to be ahead and have tempo.
In 10
that
minutes.
team's going to win.
Yeah. So let's think about it. Who is it?
I like NIP's lineup better, but I think Vici, if they get a couple of early kills in towers, they could theoretically just Medusa plants herself mid, farms jungle, farms mid, Weaver and Prophet play corners of the map, and their 2 supports just roam around. The team fight of NIP is excellent, but they need these core items. And it takes a while to get them online. Whereas Vici, your Weaver could just go treads 4 Wraith Bands and just run around the map with a bottle. And I just don't know if anyone from NIP can play this quickly. None of their cores, other than the 3-3 Sand King, are really capable of influencing the other lanes early on.
I think it is going to be tough, but I think an Enigma is like an Earthshaker where it's going to win you a lane. You just automatically get a lane pulled back in your favor, which is always nice. I like the Jakiro just because you have a support that actually is good late game, right? You have a gold per minute talent. Ice Path is never bad. Macro Pyre finally got, it got buffed a long time ago, but it's actually an ultimate. I really like the Vici Gaming Weaver, though. I will say, I think this Phantom Lancer is going to pop off, and you know what? I'll say Ace will solo carry this game.
And I'll say that he might have got the first game, but Vici's going to win this game.
Okay, well, it should be an exciting game regardless, I think. No? Yes. Yes.
I would say no to Kyle, yes to you.
Fair enough, fair enough. All right, and the winner of this game will be guaranteed top 6 here at the MDL DisneyLand Paris Major, so that will be an exciting result regardless. And of course, it's time to hear from the commentary team of ODPixel and Fog.
Vici Gaming, NIP, Game 3. I'm ODPixel, this is Fogged, and we're ready to get stuck into this one. What do we reckon then? The panel seem to say whoever's going to start taking this at the start, it's going to be hard to swing the game around. Tempo's the name of the game. Would you agree?
I think tempo's the name of the game most of the time when you're playing versus a team like Vici, right? That's the way that they've been playing. They like to win games within that well, especially at this tournament, we've seen them win those 20-minute games quite a lot here. And yeah, this one, they do seem like they can set the tempo. They also have a quicker pace draft and moving lanes around, right? What I see is they can actually gank lanes and switch their lanes up. While I look at NIPs, I feel like their lanes are extremely static. Jakiro's not one of those heroes you're going to rotate and go for a gank. Your Sand King is he's your core hero, so he's not going to move out of the lane. Enigma doesn't really gank lanes until 5-6 minutes. So I feel like it's a quiet start for NIP in those 6 minutes when I think Vici, Venge can move lane, Disruptor can move. These two, I've seen DY and I've seen Fade duo roam quite a lot for this team. So I think that's the one thing that I'm a little concerned for NIP if they don't see these rotations coming in. But they do have a pretty good PL game, like the panel was talking about. He's even gone for double Stout Shield.
NIP seem to be a fan of that itemization, and understandable, especially if, of course, the PL ends up in a lane against these pesky right clickers such as the Prophet and his Treants. We'll see whereabouts they stand around. We'll see Yang obviously hoping to have a bit of a better game than he did at the start of this series on his Prophet.
It's a PL that he wants, he wants to, or he's ideally trying to lane versus the Nature's Prophet, just like last time. When he was in Naga Siren, it's a similar concept. High armor, agility hero that you can actually trade hits with and not worry so much about those Treants. And it's also 5 ranged heroes on Vici, right? So that's Stout Shield. It's pretty nice.
Now we'll see as the lanes begin. DY is going to start out in the middle, helping out Ori on the first wave at least against Fada's Razor. Of course, one of the all-time sort of Fada classics is Razor.
Yeah, they're just starting that dual lane just to make sure that he can't actually get an advantage over the Dusa early on. Because Dusa, very slow hero. Even though Razor is one of the slower ones in the early few levels, he actually has a 10 movement speed advantage on the Dusa. So starting out there to make sure that you can guarantee some last hits and not just get linked and lose the lane.
Does the fact that DY is sort of starting off here with Ori open up any of these side lanes to be really good for NIP?
Yeah, the bottom lane. Ace is going to have free farm, for sure, as this PL.
So it was a very deep play here in that mid lane there for DY and Ori. PPD is just going to respond, TPing in. Hammers down quite a bit of damage onto DY, not enough.
The thing about DY doing this in this game is he's versus an Enigma, right? So you actually have free reign to run around the map and make your own decisions what you want to do with that time. Because Enigma's not going to be putting too much pressure on anyone. He's just going to be denying with those Eidolons, constantly denying that range creep over and over again and getting farm, not actually putting pressure out. So do like that for DY. As top, we see 33. He's not getting the most last hits up here versus this Weaver and this Venge, having a bit of a tough time because they do have 2 sentries in preparation for if he does try to go for some Sandstone plays.
Mid lane Fada does get a static link off. Did have to leave forward for quite a bit to get that damage drain. Has to be a little careful against these two.
Peter,
PPD.
he really wants to guard this regen.
Ooh.
DY actually might lose his life to deny the regen rune here.
So he should do so. If the Field Skill tries to drag in the Ancients to deny himself, but will not be the case. PPD getting that first blood. But, I mean, still denying Fada the regen rune. It's pretty nice for his mid laner. Fada does have a salve, though.
PPD passed him over that salve was his. So PPD gets the first blood. He's like, all right, well, you got my salve is kind of like a regen anyway for you. Sure, he doesn't get his mana back for the plasma field, but it's at least something for himself. A lot of denies coming out for Yang in this bottom one. So the PL, I was saying, I was talking about how it's similar to the Naga. You're not as much armor, and you don't have your mirror image, as easy to spam out, and you actually can't push the lane out. That's the one thing about Naga is that you can actually kill these treants because of your Riptide just constantly hitting them. PL can't do that. So Ace is definitely going to have a bit of a tougher time down here, even though he got the Ring of Health given by Saksa and the double Stout Shield. He can't actually clear out these treants as effectively as comparison.
So with that in mind, Jay, you certainly do expect to see Yang continue to have this very nice CS down here.
Yeah, he'll have a much better time than the last NP game that we saw.
A nice simple lane for him to play. As long as it stays like that, with just Ace being down there.
See DY just still sitting in that mid lane, just wanting to make sure Dusa can have a good time.
Just keeping the farm even between these two heroes in mid, Ori and Fada.
Yeah, and the levels are fine. Like DY's sapping, he's not sapping the most experience actually. He's only, the levels on the Deuce and the Razor are pretty much identical. PPD making his way over toward that mid lane. He is spotted by the ward. And he's going to find himself a D-ward in the meantime. But now Fade, that rotation we were talking about, these supports, they can move around pretty easily from the side of Vici. And
PPD. Yeah, he should go down here. If they can get the last touch to Ori, that would be very sweet for Vici, and they can. Ori gets the extra gold. A very worthy movement away from that mid to pick that kill up. Both Ori and DY quickly resume their business back here in the middle, making sure they can do as much as they can to ensure that Fada doesn't get out of control on his Razor.
33 is able to get a couple decent pulls up top. As soon as the Venge does leave top, he feels a lot safer, but we also see Paparazzi actually bought his own dust, so note out there to the pubs, right? Buying dust and sentries when you're laning versus a Sand King, very important. Even the cores in some of these pro games will make sure to do that, so make sure you don't... I mean, he just sits in Sandstorm. You have to do something of it. You have to address it, and spending 108 in gold isn't going to kill your economy.
I'm going to try and chase down Fade, both 33 and PPD, Paparazzi. 2v2, we'll see which heroes come out on top. There's the Burrow Strike commit, and it will allow 33 to grab that bounty rune away. And once again, NIP just showing how well they prioritize these runes. At the start of this one, 5 minutes in, they'll get the 3 of them.
I've seen this by Fada a couple of times too when he's playing versus the matchups that he doesn't really think he's like gonna get the links off, and I think it's just a Fada thing too because I've seen him do it versus others. He just maxes the plasma field instead of going for the unstable build, just because he can't actually get in range to always get on top of like the Deuce in the laning phase. He just pops it to make sure he can secure range creep.
On top lane, this time, once out again, onto 33 with the dust, and bam, they'll kill him this time.
We talked about the rotations, right? These duo supports. This is what we're going to see Vici do to punish NIP when they have an Enigma. You know that you have to make moves around the map because the Enigma is just going to be jungling, and Enigma Saksa will have that that Dominator finished up at the ideal time. You want to get it around that 5 to 6 minute mark, so you time it with that first catapult wave. So he can make his way down bottom if he wants to even take the opponent's siege creep and then just look to take this tower.
Yeah, no, 6 minutes in, you've had an Enigma in the jungle, you're pretty much level net worth. You're happy, right? If you're NIP, you've gotten away with having this jungle hero.
He got the ideal timing. This is exactly when you want to see the Enigmas get their Dominator, like I was saying. Between that 5 and 6, he actually takes the Troll Summoner, which can actually allow them to pose some kill threat instead of going for that catapult, which would just be straight for the sieging. This could still just work the same anyway.
We'll see Ace getting aggressive onto Yang, diving deep behind the tower. Yang will try for the TP out, but Sax is in with the Malefice. TP cancelled and Yang's dead. Same time up top. Kinetic Field will control both PPD and 33. Another dust from Fade out onto the Sand King. But they cannot dive. Paparazzi, taking far too much damage, so cannot continue to push on any further. Does just have the 1 bottle charge. Of course, still yet to have that 6 on the Weaver, so no time lapse to allow him to play any further into the opponents on that top. this bottom lane. Space for Ace. Tower is taken 7 minutes in. Getting the kill on Yang, getting the tier 1 tower.
Really helps him so much that he just had that ring of health inside that laning phase the whole time. Because Yang, even though he was doing a great job of trying to bully him, he just couldn't versus all that extra regen. And now, yeah, they're just going to keep putting the pressure on down this bottom lane. 2k gold advantage ready for NIP. And Saksa, which moves does he want to make? Which lanes does he want to hit? He is spotted making a move toward the mid lane onto Ori. They did see him for a second with that ward bottom, but Ori...
incredibly low. There's going to be a TP coming in, but that's not going to be there before Ori dies. Just immediate punish of sort of Ori's greed is sticking around on that mid lane as low as he is. DY, I think there's pretty much a triple stack that he's been able to clean up with those Thunder Strikes. He got over on this half of the map, and this was a triple stack that he's just been able to take away. This is some juicy experience for the Disruptor.
Yeah, for sure.
And gold.
That was a bit surprising from Ori. Like, the Enigma, Saksa actually just walked through that ward that was on the bottom side, so he saw the Enigma coming toward the mid lane.
That's a bit peculiar.
Yeah, punished for his greed. I guess he just stepped up, wanted to get the snake off, thought he'd live. Not too sure.
Let's see if they can get these kills in return on mid. TP in towards the mid. Look at the magic missile out onto Fada. Ori moving forward. Paparazzi hunting for him in the trees. Fada, he's still in there hiding. The bugs will latch upon him. So Fada will fall to the movement of the full 5-man of Vici Gaming. Paparazzi's trying to find PPD as well. The Jukes, though, not enough surely to save him. The Wave of Terror did clip him, so Paparazzi knows that PPD is still sticking around. He's trying his best with the Jukes, but with that double damage rune, Paparazzi cleans up a second. Bottom lane, though, 7 minutes ago, yeah, they take the tier 1 tower. 8 minutes, they're taking the tier 2. Ace just continuing to get away with a hell of a lot of space down here.
The power of having that Enigma with that early Dominator. They can't actually respond versus it too well at all with their heroes at the moment. They can make moves on other lanes, but that bottom lane is definitely quite a big of a problem. And we said, you know, if it's a good PL game, which it does look to be so, that he has a lot of different things that he can disjoin and just not really get disabled, and his illusions are pretty good in this game too, it can be successful for an IP. And look at how farmed he is. 1,000 over the Weaver at the moment. And he's even starting to make rotations in with these treads. Level 8 as well. Looking for another tower. Just bring that Enigma in there with the PL.
Taking this map control, playing it fast. And they'll get it. Very little the Vici Gaming can do to stop that sort of a push. Paparazzi getting in the trees on the side, but he cannot afford to commit in towards the fight.
Yeah. And there's a lot of team fight. Like last game on NIP, they didn't really have that much team fight coming together. This one, they have Enigma, they have Sand King, they have Jakiro, even the Razor contributed in there too. They have a crazy amount of team fight in comparison. I mean, Vici, they still do have it, but not as much as NIP does by any means. And we even have 33 going for an early Veil.
Now, Fade, this is going to be another kill. Ace able to pick it up with the help and setup of Saksa. TPs have come in. They want to kill Ace. He is pretty deep. Would be a very, very big kill to get, as this PL has been having pretty much a free farm, free game. He was see if he can go for any sort of cute micro. Doesn't matter. They'll clean out the illusions. The snake bounces. The Sprout. Ace is trapped. He's trying his best to run away. Another glimpse will drag him back into the clutches of Vici Gaming. And Paparazzi will be the one to claim the kill on Ace. Finally putting an end to Ace's entirely free 10 minutes where he'd just been hanging around, farming and pushing lanes down bottom, as he's eventually taken off the map, but still we can see the damage he's done. 3k lead at the moment for NIP because of how much farm Ace has got.
And they just keep threatening towers too. They're just shoving in the lane. We see 33 just Sandstorm pushes a wave out, then PPD tries to hit the tower a bit here. 33 though is getting blocked here by that Sprout.
Does have a Burrow Strike. See if he can play his way out. Another Dust is there onto 33. Static Storm down. He is well and truly trapped. 33 will fall. So not only just killing off Ace, getting 33 as well. Vici Gaming starting to get some of these core kills as they are caught alone.
Yeah, that was such a nice Sprout, just not allowing him to go that way. 33 really thinking he would survive, but yeah, I think they gave the tome to DY there, making sure that he can have that early level 6 on Disruptor, which is probably the most important one in this game to have early, because that'll allow them to get kill threat not only on like Sand King, but also on the PL.
Allows him for kill threat. Oh, Saksa, he's going to go for this black hole onto Paparazzi, and with the Hellbear Smasher, he has the damage to do so. Sure, he'll die, but Saksa, as a support, just solo killing off Paparazzi. Well and truly worth the trade. And Ace, he's even going to try and clean up for more. He charges in onto Yang, and he'll get it. Another clap from the Hellbear Smasher. The claps are real, as NIP claimed 2 kills.
Can't underestimate that extra attack speed you get from the Swiftness Aura. You see how fast those Eidolons as well as the PL were attacking. Can't TP out of that one. So Saksa kind of forcing 2 kills in a way there.
He certainly did. With that aggression, and this area is opened up once again for Ace to continue farming onto the Diffusal after the Yasha.
NIP is just, they're splitting it up all over the place. They're just forcing reactions from Vici. just constantly pushing in a lane and just making pressure happen. Bottom's pushing all the way in again, too.
And it is another one of those games where Yang's start, it hasn't been too great. He's got the same farm at the moment as the Sand King. Wait, the Sand King, yeah, no, yes. No, sorry, Saxa. Saxa's the one confusing me. He's the one that's second highest on NIP. I was like, hang on, one of these isn't a core. Yeah, it's Saxa. You know, so for Yang, he's sort of sitting behind the 4s and the 3s.
He's doing okay. He's still not like super far behind, right? He's only like 400
yeah, it's more that
500.
Saxa's just having he's having a dream time.
Sox is having a dream time,
an
and Ace is having he's been having complete free farm, right? Level 11, Yasha going for that diffuser early on. Level 11 already on is one thing. Level 11 PL, level 8 Weaver. The Dusa though, level 10. They have been giving more of that farm to Ori while Paparazzi's the one running around trying to make space with his team.
But it really does feel that Vici Gaming is just playing against 4 cores at the moment in this early game.
Sure does.
With through the amount of impact that NIP's heroes can have. As NIP, they're the ones that have come out of the lanes on top. They got away with the Enigma in the jungle.
Yep, and they've got this early Veil now picked up, I believe, for 33 as well, which is going to not only make him do that much more damage because Sandstorm and everything is a crazy amount, but even the Jakiro and the Razor now are amplified by a huge margin because of that. And it tanks him up. That's the other important thing too, right? He's playing versus Venge and Weaver. That minus armor, this Veil buildup also gives you that armor to kind of counteract that. Now he can play more of a frontliner, which he wants to.
Yeah, and it's super nice because you look at Vici Gaming's heroes. Who wants to build a BKB? Nobody. Who wants to build a pipe? No one. They're like, this is not a lineup that's going to have those sort of items. So this magic damage is always going to do so much. Bottom lane, Yang. Ace and Saxa will find him. Yang will be able to spend up by the Vlads. But a death on the Prophet. More money into the bank account of those two heroes, Ace and Saxa, as they just continue to sail ahead. Loving life right now, those two.
Yeah, definitely feeling like quite a solid start here for NIP. They're all just kind of farming up. We see Fada's also, he's going for that Atos. That's going to be nice versus that Weaver in particular. Also versus the Nature's Prophet. But Ori's just been quietly farming too in the back for Vici. So they still do have that at their disposal. This Medusa is still going to be introduced into the game later on and also buffed up, right? It's not just a Dusa, it's a Dusa with the Venge, so it does make it quite a bit stronger. But right now, yeah, NIP, they've got a fantastic timing for them as they've got all their ultis available. They've got that Veil picked up too, and they're looking to fight.
Yeah, if they get sort of one stun or connection onto Paparazzi, the follow-up will easily allow them to kill this Weaver. Yeah. Paparazzi's got to be careful. One sort of stray burrow strike from 33, and Paparazzi will fall. Let's see if they can close the gap. They move in with the smoke. Courier does go out, so they know exactly whereabouts Paparazzi is in the trees. Just the midnight pulse to clear it out, and Fada is on top of him. Paparazzi has the time lapse, jumps over towards the side. They did try and prepare for it. 33 attempting with the prediction. They didn't have a sentry down to play, guessing where he would time that's back to. Didn't catch him, so Paparazzi will be able to walk his way back home. We'll see Vici Gaming. They'll get 2 for 2 on the runes. Yang TP's out and the ace around. In top lane, Vici Gaming still sort of posturing in a way that they look like they want to try and fight NIP if they do come down into the river. But NIP aren't going to look to push the issue now. Keeps the high ground.
Ace now has the defusal. I think here he can start look to bully and put pressure on because he knows that this Deuce is just going to be farming. So right now, yeah, he reigns supreme on this PL. But now they're looking to actually just group up and play around the Deuce themselves. So not let this PL just pick people off who are separated from it. So they're just sitting behind Ori. Manta style finished, level 12. They want to look to be the ones on the aggressive moves now. We see NIP, they are rotating up. They have a smoke too. They actually are going to use the secondary smoke here too to bring Saxa and
they still have all those ults, as you say. They have the team fight ready. Vici Gaming, they're trying to fight into this, but they've got to be careful. NIP can get sort of on top of them. The Static Storm's going to be used here by DY to try and control 33. A move in looking for Ori. Ori pops the stone gate for 33 and deep that burrow strike, holding the two of them in place. Buddy getting a massive static link off as they'll kill off DY. Ori's going to get killed, and Saxa, he's ready to chase down for more. He's got his eyes onto Yang. A triple kill for Ace. Yang sprouts himself up, but Ace jumps in with a doppelganger. It's an ultra kill on the PL. I mean, as if Ace's life couldn't get any better this game. It just did. Picks up an ultra. He's already hitting this 2.5 minutes faster than average defusal. The next time is going to be flying in soon. He's already got the money pretty much for the ultimate orb on his Manta style.
And that was them not having to really throw any ultis out. They didn't have to throw out the epicenter. They didn't have to throw out the black hole. And that was before, I believe, that I think now he has it finished, but that was before the mech is finished. And now Enigma has a mech on top too. That was the perfect fight for NIP getting that wraparound. DY was forced to throw that static storm because he almost died to just the dominated creep. as well as those Eidolons from from Saksa. Now the team fights. Now they have mech around that team fight too. And we were talking about how Ace. That was the time where he's going to reign supreme, right? Now, like you said, he has a full Manta style on top too.
These sort of item timings that Ace is hitting are absolutely ridiculous. Having the Manta and with the mech backup, Ace, he shouldn't die unless he gets caught out very much alone. Even then, he'll be able to play around with them for quite some time with those illusions. They will scan out the Roche. Vici Gaming know that this is going on, but there is little to nothing they can do about this. They will start to head towards the pit. With the summons out, the illusions as well, they're killing it pretty fast. PPD sort of just going to put his body in between the two sides. Apparazzi, I mean, can he try for some sort of steal? He's going to get rooted straight away. Has to immediately time-lapse away from NIP. The space is there for NIP to finish off Roshan. Ace now has an Aegis as well as a Manta. 17 minutes in. He feels very invincible against this lineup of Vici Gaming.
Absolutely. And he's level 15 too, so he's got that health talent as well. So sitting at like 1850 HP if he's on strength strides, and he's just running in. Look at this. He's the one leading the charge, just walking up onto that high ground with no fear. Because he's got that Manta. If he does get static stormed or something, he can play around the kinetic, you know, he can walk to the edge and try to push himself out with it.
Goes bottom. And fade. Ori and Yang, they are looking towards Fada. Fada is pretty separated from the rest of NIP. They get the swap back on Fada into the hands of Ori. Yang, Fade, and Ori, they've certainly got the right click to beat through him. As Fada, pushing out a little alone, a little far away from the team, will fall. Ori gets the gold. So now we'll see NIP try and collapse upon them, make them pay for taking down the Razor. Yang sells Sprout, tries the TP out. It's not going to happen. Ice Path catches him. 33 has the damage. Yang dying once again on his Prophet. I feel like Yang, this series, if you looked at his KDA on Prophet, it's probably not great.
Yeah, and also he built the Vlads, right? And I clicked on the Venge quite a long time ago. Okay, he sold it. The Venge had Vlad's recipe inside of his inventory for a bit. He actually just sold it, and now he's going to be going back for that medallion.
Yeah, never go double Vlads.
Yeah.
But an 8K lead for NIP. This match looking to be back on track to the first one. They were knocked down hard in Game 2 with a very strong showing from Vici Gaming, as I think people would have potentially expected out of this series. But NIP just coming in with these approaches. Game 1, able to set up the lanes in a way that Ace got this beautiful start. Game 3, sort of the same. He gets this lane down bottom, and he does not fluff it up. He keeps it cool. He's got incredible farm. The movements are perfect. And NIP as a unit, 8K ahead, 12-9. The kills are close, but the game certainly isn't at the moment, as NIP have full control.
Yeah, absolutely. We see the bounty runes coming out. Paparazzi's trying to claim. He has a Maelstrom finished up now, too, so he's building toward the items he needs to address the PL, but they are quite far behind right now. As he's actually going to just get Black Hold here.
Black Hold and Epicenter and everything. They hate that guy, and he's gone. Weaver's dead. Yang as well. He says, hey, I'm good at dying. I want to join in. And he certainly will. Yang, he's gone. Another death on the Prophet.
Man, Yang really is struggling in this one. 0, 6, and 6 now. Every time he comes out, he just seems to die. Every time he tries to join and help out his teammates.
It's very strange from you.
It really does seem like it's going to be, I mean, the Ori show, right? Ori and Paparazzi are going to have to pull something crazy together for this game. And Paparazzi, he's been having a bit of a tough one, too, on the Weaver in this game. He's 4-2-2, but he's versus a PL, so the natural matchup of the heroes just isn't great for him. So Ori, level 14, almost has his Hurricane Pike finished up, which will be nice because then he can actually get himself away from that link that we saw happen last fight. But yeah, looking quite scary right now. 10K, 11K gold lead, actually.
Yeah, this is an absolute lead from NIP as into the base they go on this middle lane. They don't have the Epicenter, they don't have the Black Hole, they don't need it. As this tier 3 tower taking a beating down to half health. What can they do? Big Nature's Wrath onto Ace, but of course still a minute and a half left on the Aegis. We'll get dragged back with a glimpse. They'll kill him the once. See if they can do anything to follow it up the second time. It doesn't look like it. They don't want to go outside of the base. NIP will be allowed to walk off. But at least for Vici Gaming, they are able to push NIP back momentarily. As Ace's build, Heart to be queued up next, making sure that he can stay strong for these siege attempts. Be able to hang about. Refuel up to full HP, get himself straight back in there.
It's just pretty much a full item over the Dusa, and now they're starting to be able to get this map control, right? Look at the wards they've placed down now on the side of NIP. all right, control the ancient area. Don't let the Dusa get to this point anymore where she can farm this over and over again. And if they can just do this kind of like suffocation and keep this farm going, this Dusa is not going to be able to get enabled to farm at the pace at all of this Phantom Lancer. Ace, yeah, Heart is going to be done very soon. So.
Hard done for him. Saxa wants to join in the fun. He's got 1,700 gold towards a queued up Blink Dagger.
Yeah, the real big timing for the Dusa in this game is when you can get your Butterfly, because you're playing versus a Phantom Lancer, right? So not your natural MKB builder, but he's just, or he has to go for these smaller items in between, has to go for the Manta, has to go for the Hurricane Pike this game to try to save himself or his allies from Link, but it's just going to delay that Butterfly and make the game quite tough for themselves. And they're all just, I mean, a lot of NIP heroes are just tanking up. See the Vanguard now being picked up for 33. He's going to be going for that Crimson.
Just getting these items in place that are going to allow them to go to the high ground. And,
yep.
And they know they get these items done. Vici Gaming, they just don't have the items. They don't have the damage to push that sort of push back.
They're actually even smoking toward top. They're looking for Yang again.
Oh no, Yang, not like this. Not again. Yang, have some mercy on this poor old Prophet. They will. They'll turn towards Paparazzi. At least with a nice part, but he did get the Shikuchi off in time. At least Yang now knows that they're around here, so he won't die. He will sprout out, as TP out of there. He's not going to make that mistake again.
They're trying to make moves on Vici. They smoked out. They saw the Sanking. They see the NIP splitting up a bit here too, but they're not actually able to find the kill just yet. They see the Sanking again. They're maybe expecting him to be farming this camp, and they are. Yeah, Fade's trying to set up this kill, which could be very nice.
They need a big core kill. They need to get this. They can't afford for this one to go wrong. They look towards 33. 33. Thunderstrike. They're able to Burrow Strike. They do have the glimpse. That'll get him back in their hands. They do get that kill. They needed that, and they did get it. Now they need to make sure they don't give anything else up here. But Yang, already been Malefist. Yang will be the first to fall. Can NIP get more Stone Gaze? He's already turning. They're going to get fodder as well. Vici Gaming. 2 huge kills for them to get. They may not even be done yet. Paparazzi moving on. He did get the bugs out onto PPD, who's starting to lose a hell of a lot of armor. Saxa will pick up the blink. Oh, he bought the blink from the side shop, then jumped in. He's got to be a bit careful. They lost the third. Okay, got glimpse back. Okay. he's got the blink back up, so he should be able to get away. No, he didn't use it in time. Can they chase him? No, Paparazzi's going to let him go. But still, Vici Gaming getting those kills in a game where they're 10k behind, showing they've still got signs of life in them. You know, they are yet to lose a tier 3 tower inside the base. It is one of those games where they have this do, so they can hold high ground. And as we saw, they can still make plays outside of their base.
They do still have very high physical damage, like we mentioned. It is a Dusa, but you also have the bench.
Yeah, I mean, Fada died so quickly then.
Yeah, he actually like got caught right at, because he was turning too. He was turning to try to kind of face away of it, but it looked like the perfect degree angle that would catch him in the Stone Gaze. And then he got hit by bugs, and there's a Vengeur and a Wave of Terror. So all that minus armor, you know, the physical damage is definitely still there for Vici.
Oh, Yang, 33. He's after him. Yang will try to TP out, but the damage from the epicenter will do the job. Another death on the Prophet. Still this 12k lead, but as I say, if Vici Gaming can make that happen a couple more times, especially if they can kill Ace, they can get this PL kill, that's going to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure. If they can get Ori to this Butterfly, that's when he's just so much stronger versus this lineup. They still have a lot to dish through the Mana Shield, though, between that Midnight Pulse and everything and all their different spells. But it'll help a lot versus just the standing toe-to-toe versus the Phantom Lancer when she is able to get it.
Oh, Saxa. He's found Paparazzi straight in, no hesitation with the Blink Black Hole. Setup's there for 33, and bam, Paparazzi's gone. Saxa
having a hell of a game on this Enigma. 5-1 and 10. He is part of 15 of their 18 kills as an Enigma. Usually you might see it be a little bit more quiet because it's more of your farming kind of SQL, but no, Saxa has not been hesitant on those black holes or those rotations. He has found multiple cores.
And into the base they go. We'll see if they're able to force out any sort of buyback from Paparazzi. He's dead for 30 seconds. See how much they can get there with the fortification out of Vici Gaming. Ice Path onto the Dusa. They'll send the illusions through as well, starting to burn some of the mana of Ori. I'll have to back up a little bit. Sprout's not going to do much at all as Ace is already in range of the tower, and that's the tier 3 gone too. Ori does manage to get the deny, but still, it's the base opened up. Glimpse onto Ace won't be followed up by anything. They don't have anyone else ready to control that PL. They won't have to buy back on the Weaver. As I say, the shrines are now there for the taking as NIP can just continue to hold this map dominance.
Man, they do not have damage to deal with these illusions or with this PL at all right now, though. Even when he's got the butterfly will help quite a lot. And they do at least have the Maelstrom up on the Weaver, which will be able to clear a bit, but they're too tanky now. Right now it's like 3,000. Same thing as the Naga game when he has like 3,300 or 3,500 HP. And similar that he has an almost full item advantage, but Ori is starting to trickle closer and closer. It's Yang's job pretty much to now, even though he's 0-8, he's died a lot, it's kind of his job to just keep these lanes pushed out as much as possible and maybe just accept the point that he will die in some of these where he does just...
I mean, I guess that's the benefit of when you've died that many times. It's like, you as a kill, he's not worth a lot to NIP. So if they are having to react to him...
Yeah, he's just forcing this, right? He's forcing someone to come down to these lanes. It's going to be a lot of money for PPD, but he's forcing the reactions and splitting up the map a little bit, which is buying some time for Ori to get the farm, which he desperately does need on this Dusa. Almost having that butterfly finished up now. So he'll have a good, he'll have that good core v core matchup versus the PL. But yeah, there's still a lot of other things he does have to deal with.
And it's going to be a similar time to Ace getting his own butterfly.
Yeah.
But he is here, as you say, in a game where his team is 13k behind, to be still just 2k gold behind the enemy PL. That's quite a feat here by Ori.
And your Weaver's relatively close, at least with like the Razor. Paparazzi's doing okay. I mean, they don't know that exactly, of course. We have network chart, they don't, but they probably can still feel his Paparazzi. He's getting close to a BKB, which will help him a lot in the fights. Because right now, it's still, if he gets caught by a stun, it's likely that he can die. It's been a black hole once or twice, but that'll make him be able to actually focus fire the supports in the back lines a lot easier without worrying about some random ice path or burrow strength that'll take him out.
Nice. Well, come in to stop the push here that was attempted by Paparazzi. BKB, as you say, it's going to be good for Weaver at least to try and just not fall over in the front of the fights.
Yeah.
But still, those fights, they're going to be rough. Especially if the ults are there for NIP. If they can get this sort of lead in with either 33 or Saxa.
Yeah, it's going to be Paparazzi go for the back lines with that BKB. BKB, find Jakiro, kill him out really quickly. Maybe try to interrupt some like Blink Daggers or something from Sanking and Enigma, and then look to focus fire once you've cleaned up. Well, for NIP, I mean, they've got a lot easier ways to teamfight. They just have so many different things at their arsenal.
Vici Gaming coming pretty far out the base with this movement up top. The four of them behind the creep wave. Nobody on NIP up here at the moment. We're sure to see if any do head up there. Looks like Vici Gaming already splitting back up as just leaving both the two Yang up here leading the push. He's got the backup of DY behind him on the Disruptor if he gets gone upon. Perhaps he's heading over. NIP, they are starting to become aware of this. They have Saxa leading the way.
4 bounty runes again. Look at that, 20-8. They have 5,000 gold of their advantage is just from bounties. It's ticked up to 16k gold lead, and it's 12,000 experience lead as well. So they're keeping that up, just keeping themselves farmed up. Yang will get an item soon, though, at least on this NP after that Vlad's. He is going to have the Hex almost done on the NP, which, I mean, it's one of the best items in the game, if not the best. That'll be at least something for himself and his team. Just a little bit of extra control. And the good thing for them also is that they will always have something to be able to deal with the Enigma, right? Even if he itemizes, no matter what, BKB, Blink, doesn't matter, you have a Vengeful Spirit on your team. So as long as Fade is in the right position, he can get these swaps off to be able to always stop Saxa. But Saxa has a Blink and a BKB, so if they can ever get rid of that Venge, he can get that Black Hole off freely versus Vici.
The smoke from NIP, they'll get themselves into the base. Ace, the only one to show himself as of yet. See how far forward Ori goes. Does get caught up by the ice path. There's the swap to take him back to safety. Does put Fade in a bit of a dangerous position, though, as he surely will fall. No, another swap.
He's just dead.
Oh, he says, yeah, you can die step, and yeah, he still dies. Fade's gone. Standing Storm's only going to be used onto the illusions. The rest of NIP have already backed up onto the objectives. Ace, he's onto the racks. He'll take it. Now moves in onto Ori. Knows that this time there's no Venge to offer the swap to save him, as Ori just has to back off. Keep himself at a safe distance as the top racks are taken by NIP. They'll move over towards the mid lane. This tier 3 is gone. The racks being exposed. Still 20 seconds where they're only having to to defend as 4 heroes on VG Gaming. There's no buyback
No
available
bench.
on Fade. Ace
Watch this black hole.
is just leading in. Still 2 minutes left on the Aegis as well. As another Rex being taken, Paparazzi and Ori trying their best to push NIP back, but Ace, he's just straight in there. He's fighting with no fear, knows that he's got that second life. He can't afford to play as such, does get glimpsed back. They will be able to pot the Aegis. 33 jumps in on the backline. Sax is in, the black hole, catches the 3-year-old, does get stunned though. The stone gaze, it was already out. It catches them all. Can they actually have the damage to kill anyone though? They cannot. VG Gaming, they lose Ori. 24k lead for NIP. A second set of racks being taken. As this game, it looks pretty over. 33 in onto Ori with the Burrow Strike. NIP
Absolutely
getting rid of Ori. This is a dieback on the Medusa. GG is called as NIP take game 3, take the series 2-1, beating VG Gaming.
And that pushes them up into top 6, right, for this tournament so
They're
far.
doing
Now
it.
that is, I mean, this is a huge win for NIP over Vici, which has looked like one of the most dominant teams here at this tournament. They made it, I mean, they made it look, I want to say like
game
easy,
1 and
but
game 3.
Game 1 and Game 3 looked pretty easy from NIP. They had excellent planning. They got Ace off to a fantastic start both games, and he absolutely carried. Saksa had an amazing game on Enigma, though. Actually, like, just making moves all over the place, solidifying his lanes. That was,
Yeah, this
top tier.
without doubt is some of the best Dota that this roster of NIP has played. Turning up as they have done. They did the homework. They had the answers for VG Gaming. This game 1 and game 3 was very, very apparent of that. And yeah, for VG Gaming, definitely, you know, this is not what they expected, I don't think, coming into this one.
I mean, just look at them right now.
Yeah.
They look absolutely shaken right after that loss. They did not expect to be coming into that match and dropping it versus NIP in that type of fashion. But yeah, NIP, PPD came with a plan.
He did.
Looks like it worked.
And he's moving on in this upper bracket with the boys on NIP, taking the series 2-1. VG Gaming, they will be able to continue, but it will be down in that lower bracket.
What a series from NIP. They take out VG Gaming 2-1. Unbelievable. I'm your host, Kyle. On my left, my wonderful analysts, Grant and Sheaves. Can you break that game down? What happened?
I'm so happy we're finally having some true analysts on the panel, because the thing happened that we said, we knew exactly what was going to happen when the draft was done. It was obvious.
Yeah, the Sand King call pretty much won them their lane. The Enigma, the PL just shredded through this, and it just felt like there wasn't enough strength on VG Gaming. Like, they got shredded the entire game.
Do you think that that's a drafting issue or more of a playstyle thing?
I think this game was definitely a drafting. I really like, I mean, you obviously have the PL versus Medusa. You have this Midnight Pulse as well. Like, that just, it owns Medusa. It really does. You hold him in place. You have Ice Path. You have scaling cores.
Yep. And there's a tradition still. It came from years and years ago. When you have a support that is in the jungle, you farm a lot of money that the other team is not. Therefore, everybody's getting rich on the side of NIP, and that's just not the case on the side of VG Gaming, and that just showed.
Another excellent point, Sheaves. And I wanted to touch on what you said as well about the focus on 3-3.
Yep.
When NIP won most of their points in this circuit, it was with Mind Control replacing him with that KL Major. Do you think that he's playing better as the year's gone on, or is it a draft thing? Like, why does 3-3 just look unstoppable on different lanes and on different roles?
You want this, or do you want me to take it?
You can take this.
All right. I mean, 33, they've been last picking his hero more, right? Like, that's one of the things. They're setting him up for success with Mind Control. Yeah, you can first pick his hero. He's going to be a boss. But, like, you set 33 up for success with all these last pick heroes, and it's just, it's good. Like, they're winning. You find something that works, and you keep picking it, right? OG, they're kind of doing the same thing they did at TI when they won it. You see something that works, you keep playing it.
Yeah, and we said 3-3 is the one to look out for in the series. But before this game started, we did hear Grant say, you know what, this game, it's all ace. It's all that PL. If that PL gets fed, that Ninja Pajama is going to win the game. And that is what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and it showed. It was a great execution, I think, from Ninjas in Pajamas. They had a very strong game.
I also think this Weaver did not have a game, and that goes back to the Sand King. Every time it'd be a Sand King stun into an ice path. You had guaranteed kill on him every time.
And so easy to execute too, right? And it's low risk, low cooldown. You just pop off a stun, Sand King can immediately back away, even hide under a sandstorm. It's like what, more than 4 seconds of disable, just on a less than 10-second cooldown.
Yeah.
Good luck. I don't know. It was just we kind of knew the Weaver was going to be there, but I don't know.
Hang on. Just 1 sec. The man that asked China to be left to him is apparently prepared and ready for an interview. Peter Pan Dam himself will be ready in a couple of moments. A couple more moments, I do believe. That's like my first time this side.
Yeah, it's gonna be a couple more moments.
Thank you. Yes,
but
stall help.
You know what just happened? EG versus NIP upper bracket.
Oh
is
yes,
now confirmed.
Oh, now we're going to Peter. He's ready now.
NIP 的 PVD. Congratulations on the win, top 6.
Thank you very much.
Feeling good about it?
Of course. I mean, it's top 6. You know, the silencing the haters every other day.
Yay. I wanted to talk about game 1 because we saw Fada on Doom. Usually you guys run 3-3 on that hero, right? How versatile are your cores, the 3 cores, and how does that affect your drafting process?
We're not too versatile. Ned has always been Ned was actually a carry player for Hellraisers for a bit before he joined my team with Optic, where he transitioned to 4 and then to offlane. So he's been a lot of experience playing carry, and Fada has never really played carry, but he's played a lot of offlane. So those two guys interchange roles depending if we want to pick like some lone druid or some brood mother, or maybe Ace wants to play Meatbow. We'll let we had Netta play Naga in some game a few weeks ago. So we're not as flexible, not totally flexible, but pretty flexible.
我问了他一下，因为在第一把是发打的末日，然后平时都是3-3在打这个英雄，然后问了他一下这几个核心，几个核的话可以互换位置，对他的 BP 有没有什么影响？然后他就说，因为发打之前是打过3号位的，然后3-3的话，在之前 Optic 是来 Optic 之前是打过carry 选手，就打过后期选手的。不对，打过1号位，然后去了 Optic 之后又从4号位转3号位，所以这2个选手的话其实是互换位置，然后在 BP 的时候，对他们其实说的话很方便，如果他们想选蜘蛛或者德鲁伊这种英雄的话，2个都可以用。That was long.
Sorry.
It's all right. You've recently won the minor. How has that affected you guys coming into this event?
Well, I think that, we always knew we were a pretty good team, but we've really struggled to beat the best teams in the world, your Secrets, VPs, EG, Liquid, LGD, etc. Vici was a team that we hadn't really got to play against. We've played against them in the past, and they were a little bit weaker back in the day, but they came out and won the Stockholm Major, and now they're kind of like a big top dog. So, I don't know, I kind of think I have ROTK's number to some extent, so happy to play Vici in the quarterfinals.
我问了他一下，他们之前赢了 Minor 来这次比赛，对他们气势上有没有什么影响？他就说他知道他们是一支好的队伍，但是一直没有跟这些顶尖的队伍，比如说 VP Liquid 还有VP 老干爹这些顶尖队伍交过手。然后这次的话，他很高兴能遇到 VG， 因为之前交手的时候 VG 还没有现在那么强，然后上一届 Major VG 夺冠了之后就成了世界顶尖的队伍，然后他说他自称有 RTK 的电话号码，所以他很高兴能跟他们交手。I like how you mentioned EG. That's your next opponent, and I'm sure you're very, very familiar with them. What's the game plan? Are you confident?
More confident than probably ever, I guess you could say. That being said, I still feel like we're major underdogs in that series, and we will do our best to advance. They're definitely, I definitely think they're beatable, for sure. So I think that will hopefully give them a good series, but we played them at Stockholm and we got crushed. So hopefully not the same story.
我问了一下，他下个对手是EG，也是他非常熟悉的一支队伍。他说，在上届 Major 的时候有交过手，但是被碾压了。然后这次的话，他有信心，他觉得 EG 肯定是能被打败的，然后也希望有呈现精彩的比赛。 Well, thank you so much. I'll let you go for now. You probably need a break.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for watching, everyone.
我们稍后还有更精彩的。
PPD definitely making Helen work for it there with some nice, long, interesting answers to the questions. And yes, I have taken back the host seat because, come on, that throw was pretty abysmal, Kyle. I like that you tried, though. I like that you tried.
That's what's important, folks at home. You've got to try.
Yep. I just want to say one thing. You know, there's some long answers there. I've got ROTK number. That, you know, when you can say that confidently, probably feels pretty good, right?
I have to agree, Grant.
Yep.
That sounds like a very good place to be.
Yep. And it's going to be tough, but they don't play for, what, I believe 2 days and maybe 3 days now? They get a couple days break for sure.
Yeah, because they're still in the upper bracket. The upper bracket doesn't continue until, I believe, Friday. We're going to first go through lower brackets on the Thursday in the DisneyLand event arena.
Yeah, getting that win, just being able to maybe even take a day off. Sure, you want to keep playing pubs and stuff, but just knowing you have like a little bit more time.
Oh, for sure, Grant.
Right.
I think it's definitely much better to win instead of the alternative, which would, of course, be lose. Yes.
Oh, I see you really stepped up your analyst game right there, Kyle. Are you okay?
I'm perfectly fine, Chiefs. Thanks for asking. How are you doing?
I'm also good. Pretty good.
Oh,
pretty good here.
take a look at the bracket. Secret playing OG in one of our semifinal series, EG versus NIP. Looks like drama and some, well, not drama, I suppose, but more very angry fans.
Yeah.
Win or lose.
Can I just say, the 3 out of the 4 teams there
Are from Europe?
are from Europe.
You know.
And where's the other team from?
I don't know. They're
Europe?
actually also Europe. No, dude, they are Europe.
They're actually European, though.
Yes.
Technically, they're half European because Tal could be considered, Israel.
3 from
isn't
Europe,
in
1 from NA. The 2 best regions looking good right now. Just kidding. I still think, China's definitely, they struggled, though.
Real
They
fast,
actually struggled.
one member, let's take a quiz. One member of this panel said 2 months ago that it was time to accept that Europe is a region required 4 spots, at least, for the major. Who was that panelist?
Okay, we had just have this discussion yesterday, and you already shouted yourself out then. Do you really want to do that again?
I'm doing it again right now. That's right, because it was me. And in fact, after watching this, you know what? Europe can just take
5.
They can take 5.
6. Let's do 6.
More importantly, though, how is it that another time we have a minor winner come in and top 6? Vici, of course, winning the major after the minor. I feel like looking at the next season, it was announced recently, it seems insane to me that online qualifiers dictate 15 out of 16 spots. When you know that this team coming in from the minor, and if NIP didn't have any points, they would have been ranked 16th coming into this. And there's no way the minor winner, when you consider that, how many times was it Europe or China? I think every time this year.
Yeah.
Right? No, SCA won Dream League.
Yeah.
Very early. It was the first one.
Close, but that was before the scene really had time to develop. China hadn't gone off on their break for Chinese New Year. It's a different game. It's a different meta. It's a different Dota.
No, but I think going back to that is they won the minor, right? You get and it was a tough grand finals for them, right? E-Home, that's another they could have attended the major.
Number
easily.
13 in the DPC standing.
Yeah, and I think just getting that practice there, you learn about that. You probably do see because I'm sure E-Home scrims with all the other Chinese teams. You learn a little bit from that, and you come in playing fresh Dota, while the others, sure you're playing scrims and pubs, but 2 months.
Yeah, but you look back, and obviously OG is the odd one out there, but a year before that, it was Liquid that won TI, and that whole year, they went to every single event they could. They played in everything, and it showed. They were just well buttered to be able to take the throne. And that's the way you got to play the Dota. You got to go to every tournament.
It's true. Just to close, because I just had this thought, but isn't it weird that when you win a minor, you get 120 points, I think, but they're wiped because you go to the major.
You don't get wiped. You get the same amount. Unless you
get more. So
okay.
it doesn't add on.
Sure.
Yes.
But the problem I have is that you're winning $120,000, which is comparable to 3rd at the major. And in addition, 2nd place, you get 70K. That's more than I believe 5th, 6th gets at the major.
You are saying a lot of numbers, and they're all jumbling around in my head
All
here.
I'm saying is
E-Home, I agree.
E-Home is not worse than all of the teams at this tournament. I think that they could have an argument for being top 12, maybe even top 8, based on some of the ways
guess
I've seen
what?
teams
they
play.
knew they had to win the minor. They didn't. That's on you.
But they lost to NIP.
Hey,
They did, and they lost.
gentlemen.
NIP just beat the major winner.
Gentlemen, Let's save this discussion for another time because we are going to leave all the upper bracket teams behind us and we're going to move to 2 elimination matches. It's best of ones. The last 2 best of ones are going to come your way from the lower bracket here for the MDL Disneyland Paris Major, and there's 4 teams involved in those 2 best of ones. First one, Chaos versus Pain Gaming, and the second one, Keen versus Fnatic. I can't believe that those 2 are going to go head-to-head in the best of 1, but let's find out what's going to happen to them after the break.
Do so. If the Fields Guild tries to drag in the Ancients to deny, PPD should go down here. If they can get the last touch to Ori, that would be very sweet. Still in there hiding. The bugs will latch upon him. The fighter will fall to the Ace's trap. He's trying his best to run away. Another glimpse will drag him back into the clutches of Vici Gaming. And Paparazzi will be the one to claim the Static Storm down. He is well and truly trapped. 33 will fall. So not only Saxa, he's going to go for this black hole onto Paparazzi, and with the Hellbear Smasher, he has the damage to do so. Sure, he'll die, but they've got to be careful. NIP can get sort of on top of it. The Static Storm's going to be used here by DY to try and control 33. And moving, looking for Ori. Ori pops the stun case for 33. And that Burrow Strike holding the 2 of them in place. Buddy getting a massive static link off as they'll kill off DY. Ori's going to get killed, and Saxa, he's ready to chase down for more. He's got his eyes onto Yang. A triple kill for Ace. Yang sprouts himself up, but Ace jumps in with a doppelganger. Flutter is pretty separated from the rest of NIP. They get the swap back on Flutter into the hands of Ori. Yang, Fade, and Ori, they've certainly got the right click to beat through him. As Fada, Razor, Yang sells Sprout, tries to TP out. It's not going to happen.
He's actually going to just get black holed here.
The black hold and epicenter and everything. They hate that guy, and he's gone. Weaver's dead. Yang as well. He says, hey, I'm good at dying. I want to join in. And he certainly will. Yang, he's gone. Another will be the first to fall. Can NIP get more Stone Gates? Ori's turning. They're going to get Fada as well. Vici Gaming. Moving on, he did get the bugs out onto PPD, who's starting to lose a hell of a lot of armor. Taxel will pick up the blink. Oh, he bought the blink from the side shop, then jumped in. He's got to be a bit careful. Trading, no hesitation with the blink black hole. Setups there for 33, and bam, Paparazzi's gone. Saxa. And there's no Venge off for the swap to save him, as Ori just has to back off. Keep himself at a safe distance. They will be able to pot the Aegis. 33 jumps in on the backline. Saxa's in. The black hole catches the 3-year-old. Does get stunned though. The Stone Gaze, it was already out. It catches them all. Can they actually have the damage to kill anyone though? They cannot. Vici Gaming, they lose Ori. 24k lead for NIP. A second set of racks being taken as this game, it looks pretty over. 33 in onto Ori with the Burrow Strike. NIP getting rid of Ori. This is a dieback on the Medusa. GG is called as NIP take game 3, take the series 2-1, beating Vici Gaming.
And that pushes them up into top 6, right, for this tournament.
Here we go. Into the lower bracket we go here at the MDL DisneyLand Paris Major, and I hope for the teams not to choke just like we just did there for a second, because there is only one game in between these teams and elimination. There's a lot on the line, and we're starting off with a South American showdown. Chaos versus Pain Gaming. It should be an exciting bloodbath to watch, and we also swap things up on the panel. Gods joined us for this one. Gods, take us right to it. You want to start with Chaos?
Chaos, sure.
Start with Chaos.
Chaos is the team that's beaten every single major so far. These guys have had a pretty easy road for the most part through South America. It's kind of where all the veteran players of that scene, as well as some of the international scene, have gone to play with Misery and Weeha there. And they've just been consistently good. I think HFN to me is like one of the best carries in the region, and
hitting creeps especially, right? Like there's like a lot of stuff he does really well, but he is a creep hitter, and I think that's NASA in a nutshell, right? Like you play a public game, you just hit creeps.
Yeah, I mean, you even like you look at EG's playstyle; it's kind of similar. He wants to hit some creeps.
Yeah.
He wants to play for the late game.
If you don't like hitting creeps, you probably don't have a place in Dota 2.
Yeah, that's as well.
Right? All right, so there's, people have been watching majors, people have been watching the mainstream. Thank you for that. That's awesome. But I think there's also a lot of people watching the mainstream that are now seeing a South American showdown, Pain Gaming.
Where'd they come from?
Where'd they come from? Wasn't Chaos Pain Gaming? And who are these people? Well, they're formerly known as Butterfly Effect.
With no T. Butterfly Effect.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know why. I think it might have been missed. That's always how they went by through all the qualifiers. I don't know why, but I mean, they got signed by Pain.
There was a character limit there.
Yeah, they're like, no T. Well, not enough, no T.
I wrote down the T in all my notes, so a little confused with that. But for people that are also confused at home ground, you know these guys a little bit better.
Yeah, I think most people know, right? 40R, 80R, Adriano. He's played at multiple majors, all that. He is good, but the guy you got to watch out for, Theo on that 4 on Midas Club when he used to play for them, that dude was an absolute monster, and I think having a good 4 player, you have to in this patch. Like, it feels like this is the 4's patch, right? You even look at the minor immersion, tried to carry. You had Jin Q carrying as a stand-in. It's crazy. And then Laposa, that guy as well, Leeless, he has been around for a while. They actually beat Chaos 2-0 to qualify for this, and they made Chaos go through the lower bracket. And I think the biggest thing is they just out-carried him. It was a Medusa game and a TB game. They hit creeps a lot better than the other team, and they just beat them.
I still remember Theliacore, the very first DPC event, the non-Valve one, the very first minor, like going 2 years back. It was the first time there was SA slots, and these guys came in. It was a Star Ladder minor, and they got top 4, I think, from South America.
They went Boston,
and it was his shaker. He just went nuts. It was when they were SG Esports, I think.
Yeah, South America has a lot of good 4s. I love looking at like Theo and Sword before he like went to 3 and 4. He kind of does that stuff. There's a lot of hidden talent down there, but it's tough, right? Like, you are down in South America. It's hard for you to like go to other places and scrim against good teams.
There's kind of a lack of captains, which is where Misery comes into Chaos. He's one of those internationally experienced captains. There's not much experience for the teams, and to be a good captain, you need experience.
Yeah, and you don't. I mean, Laposa, like, he's a good captain. He's here at the major, but I don't think he ever really wanted to be a captain. And as you said, it's tough.
I mean, those are the type of captains that are normally the best ones, right? That's the same story for Misery. He didn't choose to be a captain. The captain life chose him.
Got to do it.
Got to do it, and someone has to. And we're going to see how these two captains are going to go head-to-head, because the South American Dota scene is actually very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready to go.
Yes.
Ready to create chaos.
I mean, that is Tafo right there, of course, recognizable by the amazing lion tattoo he's got on his arm.
Love the eyes come through. Now that's good. And well, there's a Sand King, and this hero we see more and more recently, and thank goodness Doom was banned. I cannot believe that hero has gotten through in any of the games. I don't think there is a counter to the hero, like straight up.
Doom and Drow.
Yeah. I think Drow, I do think Drow is a broken hero. Maybe there's stuff we're missing, but it seems most of the teams have tried everything. So maybe it is just broken.
It's one of those things where if it's not broken, the fact you can still first 2 pick it and win a lot of the time suggests
90%. Yeah.
There's not many carries you can just first 2 pick. I think Drow's only sitting around slightly above 50% win rate in 20 games, but it's still just so good when you can first 2 it.
And yep, South America, they still love their Enigma. I mean, most teams do. You still see it get first banned here, but that's one of those heroes, you know what it's going to do. Like, even last game, we knew he was going to go to the jungle and deny creeps.
Yeah.
He did it, and they won the game.
Should you just put a ward there, or try to pressure the lanes where he's not in? Because how do you deal with a jungle? Normally, or in the past, when there was a jungler, you tried to pressure something else somehow, right?
Or you could go, I like it. I'm not a fan of Ricky, but like a bounty hunter Ricky, you just follow him around, honestly. If you have like these self-sustaining cores in other lanes, then you can just go and bully the Enigma, steal his experience. Or else you just let him free farm. It really is. Yeah.
I like the idea of those heroes. It's just
it's
that
hard.
you've got a Ricky on your team.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a bounty on your
A bounty
team.
4. Like when we do see bounties, right, it's usually 3s. They get farm. A 4, yeah, it's tough.
It just doesn't do what other 4s do.
No. And that's the problem. Get banned because you really do have to change your playstyle versus him.
I like when teams have heroes that can kill the Eidolons in lane, because if he's playing that, like, okay, I'm going to contest a lane, particularly a 3 position, those Eidolons give a good amount of gold, and you need to make up for the fact he's denying a range creep every wave, or you're just going to lose too much farm on your carry.
Ooh,
Rubik versus Enigma, let's go.
And I know both of them play it. I've seen Misery play it. I've seen King RD play it. But they both, you can send it 4 or 5. You pretty much always farm on it. You always want that Aether lens, but they can both play it. Ooh. I like the open. I just like Sand King Rubik. Like, you already know you have this good, like, mid-game. You have decent lane already. You have a stun, another disable. And Fadebolt in lane, as you said, also good versus that Enigma if he's in lane.
Yeah. Anytime you're against those summons will help. Sand King kind of flexible too, can be played in that 3-position role. We've seen a few teams go that direction, so we'll keep Pain a little bit guessing.
Yep, and I think we're going to see some hard... Whenever these two teams play, it's never like these... They do run each other, but they're always the hardest of hard carries. And you see Spectre going out, Lifestealer going out. One of these teams is going to pick a TB, I have a feeling. I just have a very good feeling about it.
Pain played it in their earlier matches, so definitely possible.
The Ember ban coming out there, and that means that Pain is... the one who has the pressure of banning and picking in a row, and therefore should be the one also taking most time, as we have seen over the last couple of days. That is the tougher position to be in at this point of the draft.
It is. Man, I love regional Dota, even at majors, and especially in a best of 1, like maybe a best of 3, something just... You get a 2-0, but in this, you have one chance. You know these guys better than any other team here. That's the thing. Like, these two know each other better than the rest of everyone else.
Yeah. People love seeing, the cross-regional matchups because you don't get to see it often. But it's like these guys played each other in the qualifiers, but it's like, now prove you can beat them on land. It's like, if you're Pain, it's like, well, we 2-0'd them. End of the day, that means nothing at this point. You both made it to the major. You don't get any prize money from the qualifier. You don't get any DPC points from the qualifier. This is where it counts.
This is where it's at. Which of the teams will be best of the region, right? That's basically what they're fighting for. And both being South American teams just is a little bit of a cherry on top, because that scene is very, very active in terms of their fan base.
Yes.
There is a lot riding on this.
There is. And I do like that Bane ban, just like one of the strongest laners. You're kind of like, well, if you are going to pick this hard carry, we're not giving you the best in-lane support.
We'll see what Chaos look to get now instead. I'd say the one thing with Chaos is they're also fighting for a potential TI slot.
Yeah,
they are right on the edge.
Yep.
They are.
I mean, Pain could be, if Pain get like, top 6, but I think talking about Pain getting top 6, we're not at that point.
Yeah, if they were best of 1, yeah. Oh yeah. But who do they play?
I believe they play Liquid.
Yeah.
Their hearts like.
Yeah. Hey, Chaos is the one beating Liquid out of the tournament in previous major.
That's true.
But like Chaos, just a win here, even if they lose the next round, could get them to TI.
Yes.
Maybe not right now, but then they get to the next major and also get 9 through 12.
And again, the chances to make it to the next major are pretty big.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So that is a definite valid point, and of course they, it doesn't feel good making it to TI like that, getting last at every major. And I'm not saying that they're getting last, but like that is a little bit of a road, right? And they didn't obviously get last previous major, but it is they're not really progressing.
I mean, the thing is, like, all the other teams are progressing as well, and I think Chaos has looked better and better every event.
Okay.
Like, I think their play style has evolved, which is the biggest thing, because you see something doesn't work, you try it again the next major, doesn't work, you got to switch it up, and they have been doing that.
And they've had some events where they got top 4. It was just non-DPC events. I think there was an ESL event where they beat Liquid twice, in a best of 3 even. So they're overall, as far as their year goes, it's been a roller coaster. DPC events haven't gone well. Some of the other events, not bad.
And also, they do have the new coach, T. Governor.
Yep, T. Governor.
So just getting new ideas. Honestly, just fresh ideas will always help, especially on the international stage.
And they recently, before the previous major, they made Misery the position 4 and King RD the position 5, which definitely has helped them set a higher tempo. With Misery doing the position 4 and captaining from that one, just making all the movements happen, it definitely had a good impact. Especially, I know he hasn't been too successful with it this event so far, but the Earth Spirit actually for Misery is a great hero to have. Although this game, I don't think you'll have that.
I like the Weaver. One of HFN is one of those guys. He likes playing kind of weirder heroes. Like, right, he had that 988 GPM Nature's Prophet game. He likes the Weavers. He likes heroes you can be active on and farm creeps, and Weaver does both of those exceptionally well with like a Treads early game build.
Gives you a kind of guaranteed decent matchup as well in lane against the Batrider. And it's a hero that kills Eidolons. You can just Shikuchi in, hit him with the Shikuchi and a Gemini attack, and I think that probably kills at least level 1 Eidolons. So I like the fact that you can punish this Pain Jewel lane to a certain extent.
Yep, but we did just see this Weaver. Luckily, he's not against the Sand King. In the last game, this Enigma, I think, solo black-holed the Weaver 3 times. We'll see if that happens again, but it's a lot better Weaver game just for the fact they have Sand King and the other team doesn't.
Yeah, and you have to be very careful about using the Black Hole this game playing against a Rubik. Yeah. So one of those games where, traditionally if you solo Black Hole to kill a carry, that's fine. That's normally a good way to use that, but if you're giving away Black Hole, you got to think twice.
Yeah, you just wait for your carry to respawn, and then guess what? You're the Enigma now. You dictate.
Are we assuming that this is a Tavo Sand King and an HFN Weaver?
I would say so, because I think Tavo Sand King is his best hero. It has been probably for a year or two now. He is insane at that hero. Man, I'm taking a lot of man. That's BO1 South America. It's gonna be the Jug. We have not seen it that much this tournament. I think a lot of teams are just like, it doesn't do as much as it used to. Like, sure, you win in lane, you have the match community, but his ulti just got nerfed and doesn't feel like he just does as much.
Yeah, it's just kind of this stable. What carry do we pick? I don't know. Jug, let's go for it. It's nice because it's kind of a tempo carry where it comes online fairly fast. And we talk about this matchup and these teams and their play styles being, two teams that like to fight and brawl a lot. Jug kind of gives you that.
Yep, you got the save as well from the Oracle. When you're playing a best of one, you do want to tick all the boxes so that you're not going to get cornered anywhere with that last pick, right?
Yeah.
And the Juggernaut offers sustain, a stable carry. You can deal with some of the surprises that might come out. And
he can hit Roche. Like, just having a hero that can hit Roche, honestly, is
you can push with it.
Yeah.
And unlike I think some of the other carry options, Jug doesn't really have counters. It's just like he's a good carry that's not great, but you pick it and you're like, well, what are they going to pick that's going to make our Jug's game ruined? There's nothing. And that's where, some of the other carries, like whether it's the Ursas, the TBs, have some harder counters that you have to worry about when your opponents can counterpick it.
Do you feel like you can be flexible with that as well? Is Pain, in this case, like the Juggernaut, can it go in multiple lanes? Where do we feel like...
We've been seeing it mixed up. Like last game, it was actually like the Enigma jungled in the hard lane and the PL went down there with like double Stout Shield. It could be the same thing. Enigma's jungled, denying the creeps, and Juggernaut goes to the quote-unquote hard lane, but it's not that hard.
What do we make of this Silencer? New hero.
I don't like the hero. I don't like the hero at all. I'll let God talk about it. I'm just not a fan of this hero one bit. We saw Fly play it earlier, right, on EG, I think. Not today, but...
Day one,
they played it,
I was hating on it, and then a team first two picked it, and they won with it, so I was like, oh, I guess that makes me look a bit stupid.
Yeah, but it's a personal thing. I'm not a big fan of this hero, but that Q is super annoying versus Batrider and Enigma.
It's a support with no stun, no real slow, no save. It just doesn't tick many boxes.
You're dependent on your ulti, it feels like a lot of times.
Yeah, that's all you're picking this hero for is, well, I think the laning stage is pretty good, too. He's a decent hero to secure the lane. As far as harass goes, he doesn't, have like a sustain like a Witch Doctor heal or anything, but you're picking for global silence against both Enigma and Oracle. If you jump on the enemy carry and want to burst them, you can take away the Oracle's ability to False Promise. Enigma's Black Holing, you always have a BKB piercing silence against it.
And I kind of like, honestly, they could do some sort of Sand King Rubik Silencer tri-lane against like a Batrider and just run over that lane. Like Silencer puts the curse on Batrider, he doesn't want to cast anything, but you just run at him. He's going to die every time, and you already have a Weaver who's pretty self-sustaining. But then you have a Silencer tri-lane. I actually don't hate it that much because they don't have the most stun. They have an Enigma, right? I actually really like that.
I think Silencer tri-lane's pretty strong overall.
A TA comes out for Weehaw.
We talked about the speed. This is, I think it is going to be a tri-lane because you have this Weaver who can play by himself. You have a TA, obviously, can play by herself. And what does Pain have? You got to pick up someone that can counter at middle. Or could they just put the Batrider middle against TA?
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
We saw that once this tournament. I already forgot who it was, but I think we saw that.
It was not Pain.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. So are we, because so far 4DR has played a lot of Kunkka as well?
It's not terrible.
Still option in the game.
Team fight control, actually decent versus Weaver. Obviously, Silencer's ulti destroys that hero in the mid game, but Silencer destroys most heroes in the mid game with that ulti.
Yeah, it really depends on where that Batrider is going to go.
It's hard to say because I like Batrider versus TA, but you have to be able to play the matchup.
Yes.
Like if you've never played it, it's like, oh, maybe I don't know how to play it. And a winning lane isn't winning if you don't know how to play it.
I guess theoretically you could send your offlane and mid. Like some teams have done that, and then you just switch it up. But
Dragonite it is.
Okay.
Tempo. I mean, DK Jug. This is like a duo, a 1-2 duo
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of. If you go back like 2 or 3 years, and it was always about the ability to take really fast tier 1 towers. You've got Healing Ward, you've got DK in the front lines with the Dragon form just chipping away at towers. And you can't really go in and take out that Healing Ward because DK is going to stun you. There's a Bat Lasso. There's so many things that you just can't teamfight into if you're Chaos.
Yeah, I will say the one thing I do like is Silencer versus Oracle. I didn't really say. That's like the ultimate thing, right? If you're going to jump on somebody, you just instantly throw it out, and the Oracle can't do anything. Like, that's just how it is.
However, we've also seen an Oracle amazing play earlier this
True.
week where you can precast your Persian.
It's tough. You can do that.
Yeah, you can.
You're not relying on that.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
That
It's not a counter.
Yeah.
I really want to believe. I like the Enigma opening for Theo. They can be a little bit greedier while still just pushing towers. You get Helmet of Dominator, Jug DK, right? You're just going to push his 5 eventually.
And here's the thing. They didn't pick the Enigma for the Black Hole this game.
Yeah.
And that's where picking both Rubik and Silencer to me is like a bit of a trap because this Enigma is just going to build Helm.
He's going to push
He can
towers.
go mech. Like normally if it's a good Enigma game where you can get Black Holes, you go BKB, Blink, and use Hold. This game can just get Aura items.
Yeah, I just feel Chaos. I think they are the stronger team as well, though.
Yep.
And I think if a Weaver and a TA have a good laning phase, you're just looking at a 15-minute in-your-face lineup. It is going to be very much. They might just play opposite sides of the map and just push towers opposite, or they might just run at each other in 25 minutes. Who knows? So I will go with Chaos, though.
I'll go with Pain. I like that.
All right.
Oh.
Well, it's 50-50. It's going to be an exciting
Create
match.
chaos.
Wow.
Sorry, I was just,
Well, let's find out what kind of chaos is going to happen here in the game. The best of one game here in the lower bracket for the MDL Disneyland Paris Major with Capitalist and Blitz.
That's right, Grant. It is Create Chaos versus Bring the Pain here, the South American matchup. And a best of one to determine who's going to be moving on in the tournament, who's going to be knocked out. There is a clear favorite in this matchup. It is obviously Chaos, who have been the most dominant team coming out of South America. They have also been the most consistent team. They've been around for a while. The only swap they really made recently was this season, swapping in Misery for Duster, and Misery was already their coach before that, so he already knew the team. So it's kind of expected a team like this with a top-tier captain like Misery is going to be able to place those non-stop first places in the SA qualifiers. But Pain, this is their chance to get some payback.
I was going to say that for some reason I'm in Grant's seat and his headset smells like cheese, but I won't wonder about that too long. Yeah, I mean, for sure, Pain, I mean, I think Pain is actually quite a good squad. Like, I think skill-wise, they've got really good players. Like, Theo Lecor, remember that series we casted, like, early, I think it was a year ago, where they played in the Starlighter Minor and they beat Vici in a best-of-1? His Earthshaker was absolutely dominant. Like, the skill is here. I think 40R or Adriano is a really good player, too. He was on that SG squad, right? That made that deep run.
Super good carry. And we know, we're going to call him 40R because that's what it is in game, but we do know his name is Adriano. That's what the 4 stands for. It's an A.
The thing about it is, we're going to call people by what their name, like, if you wanted to be Adriano, you would have the full, But for newer viewers that don't know, they're going to see a guy named 40R. And
pretty much all of these guys you should kind of know. The only guy who I'd say is kind of newer is 444. And he showed up in Pain very recently. He used to be a part of T-Show last year. But other than that, the other 4, like everyone you should kind of know, Lilis or Laposa. Actually, a lot of these games basically have 2 different names. Lilis or Laposa.
Remember when everyone tried to change their names? It was like Simba for Fly or whatever.
Oh yeah. Big Daddy.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I mean, that worked because I could call him Big Daddy No Tail. That is actually a catchy
but
name.
he was
I
always
could
gonna
just
be
combine
No-Tail.
the same.
He was always going to be No Tail.
Yeah.
Though. You're not
But
getting
Simba was not. Come on.
Fly. You're not Simba. We're
Yeah,
not. We're not changing that for you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You've already established your career at that point. Like Roya can go it because he was borderline. You know, like he hadn't been a tier 1, player.
747.
Yeah. So he could go by. You could change your name a few times, but once you become tier 1, if you're in, there is a Liquipedia page about only you. Your name is locked in.
No, I agree.
But yes, we this is basically a lot of these guys have been around for a long time on the side of Pain Gaming. This is like, if Chaos is like Chaos has King RT. That man, I was playing against that man in Dota 1 G Arena scrims. Like he has been around longer than anybody else. But a lot of these players, like Mandy, like 40R, and Laposa, they've been playing for years and years of Dota.
I'm really excited for this matchup, though. I think in the last major call, didn't Pain actually beat Chaos?
Was it in? I think it might have been in a series where it was like placement and didn't.
I thought it was a
matter
2-0
thing, or maybe.
And then
maybe you're right.
And then Chaos had to qualify normally, if I remember correctly.
Mm.
So a lot of people I think would blindly give Chaos like the advantage, but Pain is not a bad team whatsoever.
No, certainly not.
They can definitely do this. They have good experience with each other, familiarity. Plus, I mean, I think this game has quite a bit of TI implications too.
Yeah.
Chaos winning the series would give them just more points. Pain obviously would need something like a top 8 to get a significant amount of points. And it's not like impossible or anything like that.
Yeah.
Liquid right now in their current state I think is very beatable. So, who knows? Maybe this is the time for SA Dota to show up, show some potential.
And I would say like Pain has got to be the hungrier team. Right, like they're a team who would love to be able to dethrone Chaos. Again, you've got the same kind of like longer history of playing Dota, but not really being able to make the most amount of money out of it and not be able to get those top tier placings. But now, like, there's no better time than right now, right? When you've got so many slots available to you, you're getting a lot of international experience. What are your thoughts so far on the tournament? Feels like we've seen a lot of high quality Dota at MDL. I know it's like people said that, and I was like, yeah, of course. Like it's going to be a major. There's a lot of great teams there. Every major has it, but it feels like every team is getting sharper and sharper as we close in on TI.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Secret look like, from my opinion, I think Secret's the best team in the world right now.
Yeah,
I think they have been for the majority of the year.
Yeah,
they're my favorite team to watch too. They're just dominant, and they play style which is like always on the edge of being a little bit too greedy, but they make it work. So they throw a lot of different looks at you too, which I think is always fun. Then you've got VP, who I think are like the regular season champs. Oftentimes they just look the best team in the world, but so far a little bit of faltering. Then you've got EG, who's played very good Dota. They had that 6 series against OG, and now EG's win, their 2-0 win over OG in the groups looks even better, since OG was able to like dominantly 2-0 VP.
Yeah.
So like all these teams look like they're showing up in form, and OG especially, like OG just makes Dota more fun to watch. Like if I'm just a casual audience member, OG just makes everything more fun to watch. Like the Dota here, I think has been very good, and like the skill level, there's no free matchups.
Yeah. Well,
what?
Sure, there's no free matchups.
I'm gonna not.
We casted yesterday, but
I was not me. That was you and Yanni's.
Oh, that's right.
Although
me and Yanni's casted a series yesterday. That was
have some pride in NA Dota. No, I had to cast Empire versus Mineski, and Empire actually might have looked like a free matchup. Mineski crushed Empire. Like, that didn't even look like they were playing the same game. It was over at like 24 minutes. But this game, I think, just looking at the draft, I think Weaver versus Jug is not that bad for Jug anymore because the bugs no longer pierce through spell immunity.
Okay.
Like before, remember, it was just no matter what, you can get it off of you unless you attacked it off.
Yeah. Okay. But it sounds like, okay, that's decently significant, but there's still nothing that you're going to like about Juggernaut offensively against Weaver, right? Like, I guess I saw the Juggernaut pick after the Weaver, and I was just like, well, why, though?
I think it's for that reason, yeah. Wait, wasn't the Weaver picked after the Jug?
No.
It was the other way around?
Weaver was 3rd pick, and Jug was 4th pick.
I see. Interesting.
Unless, I mean, we're just watching from the side screens, so it's a little hard to see, but I'm, like, pretty sure that's where it went. I was just like, wait, what? You think the lineups are pretty evenly matched, drafting-wise?
The one thing I'm scared of for Chaos is their damage output. They have 2 supports that don't deal damage, which is always, for me anyways, pretty scary.
Okay.
Like, when we say that, guys, by the way, it means, like, you're no Lion, you're no Tusk. You have, for example, a Silencer who, sure, like, if you steal 100 int, yeah, you'll hit pretty hard, but just Silencer himself doesn't have, like, aside from Global, he doesn't have the skirmish teamfight abilities that you usually like to see.
Right.
And then Rubik is kind of similar in that regard, too, where Rubik himself, he relies on other people to deal damage, in a way. Which is never, like, that fantastic of a feeling.
Yeah.
Plus, they all end on stopping this Enigma with both the supports, not just one. And the Enigma can just be like, well, screw it, I'll never Black Hole. Because he's going to get stolen every time. Global Silence into Rubik's Steel.
4th position Enigma was all the rage a month or so ago.
Yeah.
What do you think happened to it?
Enigma? I mean, I think he's still very good. He just gets banned a lot. Like, he has a high ban rate. And I don't think every
Weaver was pick 3, Juggernaut was pick 4.
Interesting.
Confirmed. Just looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that matchup is that bad anymore, though, now that the bugs don't hit through spin. So we do resume our game, and just looking at the lanes, we've got DK versus TA.
Bottom lane, the Juggernaut is going to be matched up against a Rubik Weaver lane. So 2 ranged heroes, both able to keep their distance against the Blade Fury Juggernaut. Nice play by HFN. In early Shikuchi, just kind of getting in front of Leo here. And, that little bit of body blocking adds a lot more damage onto the Jug. The aggro dual lane here at top with Tavo as the farming Sand King. He's got Mr. King Ao himself, King RD behind him, Silencer. Trying to make this lane a little bit easier, but the Oracle can counter the Silencer in the laning phase. We saw it just earlier. He throws out the curse on the Bat Rider. Bat Rider feels like he can't sticky napalm. Well, 4/4 can just throw the purge on him. Lane is pushing in as well. Trying to get that hard camp pull, but King RD is a little bit too far forward here. I'm not sure what exactly that was. He really wanted the hard camp to pull, I guess.
He was really far forward. Against a Bat Oracle, like that was not that hard of a kill.
No.
Like, Leos was only level 1 at the time.
I feel like Pain could have jumped on that a lot sooner, but they were just like, what's going on?
Why is he here? He's a bit confused by that, but, I mean, they're going to pick up a kill, and, yeah, I mean, this matchup, I think if you just blind look at it, people would just be like, oh, well, I recognize the name Chaos, but don't sleep on Pain.
Yeah. 40R. Having a bit of a rough one here, as Weehaw has done a lot of side blade damage. Well, this side blade damage change. It's no longer pure damage, but it's based off of the armor of the creep that you hit. Is that right?
Yes.
JJ tried to show me and I couldn't read. Oh, no, it is pure damage. What was it,
No,
the
it is
other way
pure
around?
damage. Yeah, it is pure.
It was. I think it was the other way around.
Yeah.
That was the change. So that Dragonite is going to be super unhappy.
It is pure. I was like, wait, what?
It used to be. It used to be the other way around, right?
Yeah. Oh.
So no wonder that 40R is having such a rough go of it. Bottom lane, Oracle shows up, is able to get Misery as he's run down by the Blade Fury of the Juggernaut. HFN can stand his ground, though. He still controls the lane pretty well.
So far, all pain.
Yeah.
And mid's not going that bad.
No, he just had blow healing self, but CS-wise, he's 12-3. Templar Assassin is about even with him. A lot more denies on the TA, 9-7.
You kind of expect that, though.
Yeah.
With DK versus TA, because the only time you're going to ever get actual CS is by like pre-firing and making sure she has lower base.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the prospect of actually getting denies off, I think, is a lot harder for the DK.
Right.
Like, he can get CS. This is just sort of what DK does. I don't see DK, like, absolutely crush any lanes, right? Because his attack animation isn't, like, fantastic or anything like that. So...
Burst Strike. Lelis just going to go for it, see if he can run down King RD. He does have that last word on him. It's going to do a lot of damage, but not enough. He is going to be able to kill that Silencer, and with the healing salve going off on him, the Burst Strike's going to land, though. Tavo gets the kills, so Lelis thought he could get away off the healing salve. No such luck here.
Still, getting the kill, I think, is pretty important here. Because you know that Theo is just farming. He's going to get a pretty fast Helm of Dom, and he's going to be really active in this game cap. And this is what you like to see if you're a Pain fan right now, is your laning phase, you're a little bit greedier, but you're not being punished that hard for it.
Yeah.
In fact, they're actually winning, I'd say they're winning top because of the kills. They're winning the jungle. Mid's not going bad. Bottom, the Jug's at least getting, like, good farm.
Oracle just suiciding to the tier 2 so he can get a fresh life, full HP, full mana, and TP out to bottom lane, help that Juggernaut again, because he definitely needs it. This Weaver lane is a bit rough. Theo Lacour, meanwhile, we haven't talked about him at all. Pain. If their lanes just kind of go even, that's fantastic, because they've got this Enigma. It's not really a factor. It's just farming up jungle. There's going to be the Oracle dying here over these bounty runes. Now they're going to try and go for Theo Lacour as well. HFN gives up on it. He says, I'd rather just kill the Eidolons and get the other bounty rune. Call it a day. 3-3. The score evened up, despite the fact that Pain started off with an early 2-0. Things beginning to shift a bit.
You're still just going to farm on this Enigma. I think once he gets his Helm of Dom, he's just going to shift over to this top lane and maybe just begin the pressure. Yeah. That's what I'd like to see anyways.
Battle over the stack.
I'd even be down to see him gank mid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm okay with either of those options as 40R. He's going to get some help in the form of the Sentry, which 444 places from. Let me just say, it's so annoying when you have to play any hero, really it doesn't matter who it is, versus TA without the Sentry.
That was a triple stack on the hard camp there. The Batrider does take a hefty amount of it, and they split the experience, so not too bad for him. He is now almost level 6. Interesting that he's thinking about going Tranquil Boots as opposed to the very popular Boots of Travel first build. Heavy push coming out in this bottom lane while the Juggernaut is gone. That Siege Wagon, you can see what Chaos is doing. They're immediately trying to finish off this creep wave, so the Siege Wagon will continue to get as much damage on the tower as possible. There is going to be that purge onto the Weaver. HFN is just going to turn and go for this Oracle kill. Now, Theo Lacour is going to come in from the side here, and they're going to go for Misery, so it looks like they're going to trade off supports. And he does, with the Helm of Dom, take over that Siege creep, stopping a lot of damage on the Tier 1, and now they can use the Siege to put some pressure on Chaos's lane instead.
Yeah, very nice steal, but not the worst trade of all time.
I feel like the Helmet Dominator build has helped the early game of Enigma so much.
Oh, yeah.
Because pressuring towers with Eidolons just Like, too often you just end up feeding away a lot of gold.
The bigger problem, I think, was that there was no, like, mid-range item for him.
Yeah.
It was like, you got Soul Ring sometimes, and then what would you build, really? You'd get, you just start rushing mech and arcane boots. Didn't really feel that good. You don't really need mech at that time, and you sort of need arcane. Like, it was just a lot of halfway measures that you'd have to go for as Enigma. You didn't want to ever go Blink first.
Telekinesis pullback here. The Burrow Strike is going to come out from Tavo. A heavy rotation from Chaos as they look to defend their mid tower. It was a cool rotation by Pain, like grabbing the Siege Wagon from bottom lane and using it to go push mid. In fact, they're still going to keep that up here. But Chaos were very loath to give up that mid tower.
They should be. Like, this isn't something that you want to trade out. Like, the DK, if he gets a few hits in, and he gets the majority of his DK farm off, I don't think he actually cares that much about that death.
Yeah.
And eventually he is going to take that tower.
Blitz, you worked with, you said, Liquid, they protect their mid tower the most out of anybody. They prioritize the mid trade-off the most. You worked with Misery. Does he feel similar?
Yeah, I think they had very similar concepts at Dota. I think everyone that played on that Team Secret team has the same idea of Dota.
Okay.
Like, at some point, it's like the secret tree, right? All the teams that like have successful captains and stuff came from that like tree, aside from like maybe PPD. Puppy, Kuro, Fly, No Tail.
Yeah.
They all kind of understood the same things about Dota. Whether like I don't know who was the originator of it, but it all kind of makes sense, right? Because they all did work with each other. And Dota, it hasn't changed that much. The mid tower, just because of where it's placed, like in the middle lane, the proximity to Roshan, the way that the jungle is controlled, it's always going to be of importance. As Tavo going to come in, try to stop things, as he's going to get rooted up, but the tower should fall as he does get 200 gold.
Has the last word on him, is trying to make his way over to the shrine where the TP is going to come out. Oracle tries to save him as best he can, gives him a little bit of heal, but now 444 just realizes that he has TP'd into his own doom. He's just given Chaos another kill here.
Yeah, so they're going to trade those 2 kills for the mid tower. Pretty heavy commitment by them, and I don't think Chaos minds it that much. Unless they also lose this top tower, then I think you start to care a little bit more. Losing this top tower to this Jug, I think, is not the play. It's such a long kill for him to go for. I do like that he is making this play. They're just going for the mirror trade, but when you're later, when you mirror later, like it's a lot harder to just take that tower, which is why we see the Jug spin out. Tavo tries to time it, but no way.
He thought maybe Mandy screwed it up. Maybe Leo was not going to get the full spin TP. That is 3 bounty runes for Chaos. And that is Oracle dead again. I would love to see him one of these times, because I'm not convinced the heal is actually doing more than just disarming the Weaver.
Yeah.
I feel like that would actually accomplish a little bit more, but either way, he's dead. There's no going into that jungle area, and he should know by now that Chaos does have a very aggressive ward. That's why he keeps on beating death every single time he heads to that area.
I mean, that's the second time that they've caught him out, and they've like beeline towards him. Maybe even the third. So, yes, he does have to be a little bit more careful here. Batrider, let's see, any big items?
Leo,
smoke.
You cannot challenge that Templar Assassin. And he is blown through all of his mana here. So if they get the right kind of initiation on that Templar Assassin, he will not be able to help with the kill. No Omni Slash, not enough mana for spin either. A heavy push coming out from HFN, who throws the bugs out nice and early, catches the creep wave before it connects with his own creep wave, which just means his creeps get more damage on the tower.
This would be a massive kill if they could actually get it. And 4DR, they're going to drop the sentry. He's going to lead with the
going
stun.
off. He does have his ultimate, but they're just going to throw out the black hole. Do they have enough burst damage?
Tanky.
No, 444. It's going to be a little bit close, but fortunately the Oracle does so much damage. Tavo with the epicenter, and here at top lane, Leeless tries to turn around a little bit. He's going to get tossed back into the Sand King with the Sandstorm. Keeps on going during that time, so if that was the older Sand King, maybe he would have lived, but that damage over time, and now we're going to watch Misery probably die as well, unless he steals a really good ability in spin. Leo.
Can't do that, man.
That was the only way.
That was the only way.
Away.
I knew that was going to happen, too.
Yeah.
I was like, he's not casting any spells on you, man. You know what's going to happen. He's just going to spin TP. They don't have nearly enough damage at this point in the game to kill him. with just
Going for Weehaw. Weehaw a bit out of position. The lasso is not up, but they may still be able to run him down, especially if they get this Malphite done. That's really all they need. He's currently silenced up, but if they can still get the kill, the Burrow Strike goes out and actually misses, and the Oracle, just at the right time, waits for the refraction to go down, then finish him off with the Purifying Flames. Now he's going to try and keep himself alive here with a False Promise. He did get a heal.
He's good.
He's up to full.
He's good. And so far, I mean, really action-packed game, 7-9. Both carries taking full advantage of the opposite ends of the map. HFN getting good amount of farm, and he's putting pressure on the tower, which I think is important. Like, the Jug can't really do that quite yet, I think. Or he doesn't feel super comfortable just showing up in the lane. I think he should because he has spin TP, and as far as I know, they have no way of canceling that. Unless Misery steals, like, Bad Ult or Black Hole.
Yeah.
So for the time being, he should be able to pressure the tower, and I guess the reason he's not is because he doesn't feel like he has the mana to spin TP out. But I'd even maybe consider just like bringing a Clarity to myself.
Diffuse a Blade, when that is up for HFN, I mean, he's already been a terror to these supports on the side of Pain. It's been a little bit hard for the Batrider as well. All these heroes are going to have a rough time against HFN very soon.
It never feels good to play Weaver, or to play any support against Weaver, just because he chases you down. The bugs are so annoying for you to deal with. Nobody really likes it anyways.
I was going to say Rubik, but Weavers haven't gotten good enough to like play around Rubik, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, they always Shukuchi forward and then throw bugs, and then they just don't cast Shukuchi again.
Yeah.
And then you as a Rubik are like, okay, I can steal the Swarm. Cool.
The Swarm is underrated, man.
The Swarm is underrated, but it won't save you from dying when the Weaver's on top of you.
Swarm.
What a cool Swarm.
That's one of the coolest spell names.
The Swarm.
As they're going to make their own commitment into this mid tower. If you're Pain, defend this. Help your boy.
Hey, whoa, this Dragonite is getting ripped apart, but there's going to be the Oracle save, the False Promise, plus the Healing Ward, plus his natural regen. He's full health almost instantly. That is going to be a double damage Weaver. No wonder that Dragonite was taking so much damage. I was like, man, how did he get ripped apart? DD Weaver will do that to you. It's going to be Silencer who's caught here. Tries to go for the TP out, but too much damage. 15-minute bounty runes are on the ground, and it looks like Chaos is in the better position again, as they should get 3 out of 4.
The weird part about this game, too, is like because you have these two supports that can't do much, you really need to rely on your cores.
Yeah. Got a successful scan, HFN. He was hoping that was somebody else, not a Juggernaut.
I mean, he was hoping it was just like he'd run into Oracle or something there.
Yeah.
Or even Batrider. He killed the Batrider really easily. Weaver versus Batrider is one of those matchups that you love playing as Weaver. You can always keep up with them.
Can we see the bounty rune matchup? I feel like Chaos has done a better job of... Yeah, Gio. I mean, if it wasn't, if the bounty runes were even, Pain would actually have a pretty good lead right now.
Yes. I love that, by the way. But we noticed, too, that the team that gets more bounty runes doesn't often win.
Yeah.
Like, Keen doesn't really care about them. Liquid cared about them a lot in the EG series, but it didn't seem to matter, right?
Yeah. Guess it's all about... I mean, if you're not getting those bounty runes, you better be achieving something in return. Look at that heavy amount of burst. And this time around, there is no False Promise. There is still an Oracle. It almost saves his life. Leo's going to go for the spin onto Misery. Oh, the Purifying Flames isn't quite enough. Now he's getting healed up. Unfortunately, the damage over time of the spin is good enough. The Epicenter coming in for the right-hand side. Look at that. A big two-man Burrow Strike. King RD tries to help out. Oh, Theo completely whiffs it. They try and pull back the Weaver into the black hole, but he managed to get off the time-lapse. He gets away. Everybody was so low on the side of Chaos, but it's only disaster here for Pain. They almost killed several members, but now Lelis, he's going to be run down by an HFN who was probably at like 50 health before he got off the time-lapse.
Oh, that hole.
Oh, dear. 40R actually comes back in. Weehaw, he does get off refraction, but it just gets burned so quickly, and he's not going to get a chance to be able to blink away unless they don't have vision. The Centaur stun, drop the sentry, get the kill. Good work from 444.
Very interesting build from Weehaw, by the way.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Going for the medallion, I don't know how much I love that. I don't know how I feel about that, I should say.
I mean, it looks pretty sick how quickly he's able to burst down somebody when he medallions and then Fade hits them.
I mean, I sort of think that Deso would do a lot for you too.
Yeah.
It's whatever. But a relatively successful fight that kind of ends a little bit weird for Chaos just because they stick around for a little bit too much.
Yeah.
The kill on the HFN Weaver.
Oh, sick play. Did you see that?
What?
The Oracle, the Geminate attack was coming out from the Weaver, and it would have killed the Hamadam creep. The first one hits, and then the Oracle turned around and denied the Centaur.
Oh, well done.
Denying the 200 gold that would have gone to HFN.
Go you, 444. Oh, man, the swing on the miss. It is a hard Enigma game, to be fair to Theolacor. Like, he doesn't ever feel super comfortable throwing it down, so I think he just threw it down and threw it down, throw it down. At that point, he's just like, well, people are around me. Like, maybe somebody walks into this. It is called a hole for a reason. Don't focus on that. I don't want to get fired. Now it looks like Chaos once again are going to go through this mid tower. As
they just keep on trying to go for this Dragon Knight.
They get the jump though.
This time around, the Oracle was directly behind the Dragon Knight, and they do get the jump out from Lelis to be able to pull Misery back, who grabs Lasso. So the captain of Chaos dies, and once again, Pain do defend their mid tower. And Chaos keeps on gunning for it, but they keep on missing. 11-13. Chaos. Very, very slight net worth lead. Blitz, how do you feel about this game as it progresses, if this game continues to stay even for the next 15, 20 minutes?
I think I like Pain's chances, actually.
Yeah?
I think the supports on the side of Chaos don't really threaten very much. They don't have any way to cancel the Juggernaut, his spin TP.
Right.
I feel like this is a really free Jug game, and that's why they ended up taking it. Even though you take it after the Weaver, you're not really worried about anything, are you? You're going to get a Manta style at some point, and that makes you even less concerned. Global Silence is really the only disable, so to speak, that you're worried about. And once you get Manta, you're perfectly fine. He will flash farm really quick in this game. And because the fact that there's no cancels on the enemy team, like no Tusk or anything like that, no Batrider themselves, I mean, I think he feels really comfortable farming aggressively. Like, I don't think he should be hitting anything but Ancients and pushing this top lane in.
Ordiar tries to go for the bounty rune here. The full amount of Chaos is a beautiful Burrow Strike Epicenter. Look at that. It's going to take up the back line, but the black hole. It lasts a little while, but eventually does go down here. The lasso was there to be able to grab that Weaver. Immediately buys back, time lapses back into the fight. So it is still 4 here from Chaos fighting into it. Another beautiful Burrow Strike. Lands on it too. Leo's taking so much damage. They are able to pop the shrine, so this false promise is going to be able to heal 40R back up to full. Weeha hiding away in his meld while Leo tries to go for the silencer. Is going to die to the last word. Tavo missed the Burrow Strike on a dead hero, now maybe dying to 40 yards. The Yule Scepter is going to buy him a little bit of time, but the Burrow Strike isn't back up, but he gets outside of vision. Now 40R has to turn and fight on someone else. Weeha has the refraction.
Nice,
he's going to stay alive, as well as Tavo. All 3 cores of Chaos stay alive. Well, HFN died, but his second life, he stays alive.
Yes, that was a really good buyback from HFN, and I love that he didn't hesitate at all. He just pulled the trigger. He's like, I got to go for it. Those fights always look really weird because you think to yourself, like, the team that bought back automatically made the greater investment, but that's not necessarily the case at all. Like, what did he really lose there? He lost a little bit of gold, but he immediately made it back. He made more than enough for his team overall. Like, they would have lost that fight without him. And the experience that he gained, too, I think it all just adds up to a positive. Plus, they secured the next set of bounty runes to themselves.
Yeah.
Like, all in all, that was a positive net worth fight. If they could have gotten the Roshan, too, that would have been even bigger, but...
I mean, they forced the buyback out of the DK.
Exactly. Like, that was a really good chain of events that happened.
Yeah.
And that's something that OG, I think, especially kind of like popularized after TI. It's like, if you can use buyback to win a fight, just do it. But now it's going to be Pain that plays in around the area. And they have to be more cognizant of how Tavo's positioning himself, because I think he's getting way too good of epicenters off.
Yes, certainly. Lelis. Oh, HFN spots him. Almost got the lasso, but the time lapse was too fast. And now they don't have the detection.
And I really like the way that HFN is playing overall. Like, a very aggressive brand of Weaver. Not being too afraid. Is going to go back for the Lincoln Sphere. Once he gets Lincoln's, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to kill him. They have a lot of single target spells, aside from the Enigma Black Hole. Yeah. He had a very decent Black Hole right there, by the way, too.
Are you down with 5-position silencers going hand to minus?
Why not? What else
not?
is...
I mean, that's what I was thinking, too. It's like, is this a good 4-staff game? Like, not really. So what other item do I really want on my silencer? Well,
also, what do you think the game length is going to look like?
Yeah.
Because I don't think Chaos is ending this game in the next 5 minutes.
That is a really good point. I feel like Pain has done a great job by protecting their objectives.
Mid tower's still alive.
This game out.
Yeah, mid tower's still alive, and I'd like to see DK over here right now. I don't want to see the Oracle here because he's just gonna die and they're gonna lose a tower after this.
And without that false promise, like the whole reason DK was able to play forward in so many situations in this mid lane was because the false promise is straight up just OP with the combination that they have.
Imagine if it's DK there and 444 is sitting behind him.
Yeah.
Can he really die? Probably not, as Leo just has enough for his Manta style, and with the help of the Eidolons is going to mop up this tier 2 tower, but Chaos has bigger objectives in mind as they're going to walk into the Roche Pit. Weehaw gets bounced out, and the Firefly has started from Lellison. This is going to stop them for the time being. They're going to wait for the Oracle to be up, as Tavo still waiting around the area. HFN going to come back in for this, and if you're Pain, you got to choose whether you're going to commit now or never.
They do not commit at all, and Tavo says, fine, we'll take the fight to you now that we have the Aegis. Blinking and stunning 40R, but it looks like someone from Chaos made the call to back up.
Yeah. Weehaw does have a BKB, by the way. Really interesting build, going for the Solar Crest, too.
Yeah, back to the Solar Crest. No Deso.
I think this might be in response to the Jug. I have to imagine. Just more armor yourself. Some, like, weird halfway hybrid build that Weehaw thought of.
I mean, Medallion of Courage is basically applying a Deso without the damage.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
so it's a faster paced build, right?
Weehaw's the guy that brought you Vanguard, Maelstrom,
Vanguard Invoker.
That's a lot of damage on this Jug.
Remember when people were saying that was going to be the next big thing?
What?
Weehaw's
Invoker
build.
Yeah. Trust me, I was like... he did win ESL with that.
Yeah.
And beat VP and Wings in the process, and Newbie when they were like real good. So, you know what?
24-minute Midas.
I saw Fear tweeted after that game. He's like, nobody do this. Oh,
Fear knew. Look, great grab. Tavo, if they can actually chain stun him, but unfortunately there was the initiation onto the DK, and he wasn't able to get off a chain stun. The Omni Slash into the back line. They do have the Black Hole controlling up Weehaw, making sure he doesn't get off another round of refraction. They just need a little bit more damage, and they do manage to get it. Turn back over. Misery's going to die as well here. HFN needs to be able to skedaddle on out of here, as his Aegis is not going to make a whole lot of work if they don't have the numbers advantage. They already killed the most important hero in that fight, which was the Templar Assassin.
Tavo's so tanky. Making the decision to try to go for him. He's got Greaves up. I didn't even notice, but he has full-on Greaves. Huge wand. Yule Scepter. Taking him down. Even if he gets dusted, he'll just pop Greaves sitting there anyways.
So it kind of leads to question, like, what was Weehaw doing? Blinking in that deep when, Sand King didn't need it, it seems.
Yeah. My main thing is that I think that they should always just save the global.
Yeah.
1-to-1.
You think they're blowing it prematurely way too often?
And that was the only way that Weehaw dies, right? He's got BKB.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure they might have gotten that kill without the Global Silence. Like, if the Global Silence didn't come in, and then you wouldn't have your Guardian Greaves hero. Like, I feel you. I think, should be 1-to-1, but I can't really blame him for using it there.
But that's like, you have two different ways of dealing with the Enigma, and so far, somehow anyways, like Theo's gotten really good Black Holes off. They chose two different ways to stop him.
Yeah.
It's not even like he's got BKB at this point either.
Yeah.
They technically have like 3. They've got like 4, and he's still getting them off. And that's either because Weehaw's anticipating something different to happen in these engagements.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely got a little bit too far ahead, though. That was point number 1.
I mean, that was a deep high ground area, and in order to get up there, it's funneled into a tight little corridor.
Yeah, I do like how both teams play, though. They just see heroes and they run at them.
And they're going to run at HFN right now.
Nah, they want to get Misery.
DK is going for the back line. Lelis is going to be able to grab him here, pulls him back to his 2 cores, who will do the damage needed. To be able to get the kill.
You saw that 40 hours like, I have no intention of killing you, HFN. Just leave me alone. Let me take him. It's like that scene in It. Spoiler alert. You know, he's like, leave him to me, and I will let you go.
You saw It?
No, I just YouTubed that scene.
Oh,
I
okay.
to watch it.
There's
no way I'm going to watch It.
Blitz is terrified of everything.
It's a curse and a blessing.
Is it? How is it a blessing?
Well, because I stay safe.
Blitz, I promise you. Oh, you guys will see some content pieces of Blitz on roller coasters. That's going to be fantastic.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to fake an illness.
70-20, 28 minutes in, a 6,000 net worth lead for Chaos. But I think we both kind of agreed that Pain, we like their lineup going later if the game's even.
I think the Jug is still going to be very strong in this game. He's going to pick up a Butterfly next. He's almost hit a level 20 of his own. Compared to the Weaver, who has the 35 XP talent, who's only 2 levels ahead of him, I think Leo, because of the nature of his hero, will continue to get ahead, and he'll just continue to get further and further and further ahead. I mean, he's got Battle Fury. He's a Jug. He's unkillable. For now, anyways, until they get, like, Hexes and Weehaw potentially gets the Bash talent. Until that happens, Leo will continue to just have a free Jug game.
MKB for HFN, so we will have the counter to that Butterfly of the Juggernaut. Lelis is going to be able to find Misery here, but bam! Tavo immediately jumps in, stops the Bat Rider, gets a stun on him. Weehaw delivers a lot of damage to Lelis, but Lelis is still able to fly over to high ground. King RD is going to go down here, threw down the Global Silence because he was going to die, so he might as well get it out, but that means there is no response to a potential black hole, and Weehaw really gunning for Lelis here, but there is going to be the save of the Oracle. Lelis should be healed up as a healing ward plus false promise usually means full HP.
You've got to be on full retreat now if you're Chaos.
Yeah, they've got a bash. Tavo actually going for the stun here, but Leo, he's lost vision for a second. The Weaver is still down. He has no buyback. He's dead for 2 minutes.
What's going on? As Chaos, I mean, they're sticking around way too long.
Yes.
They've got to be more careful about this. This Basher Juggernaut is a threat, and Theo now has Black Hole. There's no Global Silence.
The moment the silencer was dead, the fight's over.
Yes.
You don't fight anymore.
It is full retreat mode from there on. HFN, I think, is way overrating his survivability because he's got that Lincolns.
Yeah.
There's a Basher Jug. You saw it too. You know if he just gets one bash, they'll chain spells together and kill you. Absolute worst situation for Pain there is they blow Black Hole to kill you after you pop your ulti. That's what Theo was waiting. He was running past just to make sure that would happen. So there was no way HFN was getting out of there.
The weird part is there's no winning in that scenario.
Nah,
HFN, it's not like,
I guess the situation that he was waiting for was maybe if they overcommit to him, Tavo can come in. Because that's what Sand Kings love to do. Sand Kings never love to just start the fight. They love to come in like a quarter of the way through the fight once it's become a little bit chaotic and they have good epicenters in the back line. So I agree. I'm not really sure what the overall plan was there.
Speaking of the back line, Pain is doing a great job getting to Chaos's backline, and I feel like Chaos is doing a bad job of getting to Pain's backline. I mean, how many times has this Oracle gotten off a false promise on some hero they initiate on?
Oh, for sure. And that just goes to show you, like, the positioning, I think, is a lot better right now from Pain supports. Because you should not be in a position where you have to blow global just to save yourself.
Yeah, why was King RD on the front lines?
Yeah, that's... I mean, you've got... If you're King RD, your hero is so important. Because you have the potential to end all fights. And as soon as that's done, it's such a big relief from the Enigma, right? Can you imagine how Theo feels whenever Global Silence is down? He's like, oh, finally, like I can play Dota again.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels so hard for him that he's just building all in on the, like the panel said, he's just going for the auras. He's going to pick up a Crimson Guard for himself, which is going to be even more effective. It's really nice against Weaver, by the way, and TA. They lose a lot of their burst potential. They can't really play the margins of the fights anymore. Can't just like get in and out. And Theo has played aside from that whiff, like whatever. That's one of those situations where I can't really blame him. He's like, well, I need to just cast it. It's impossible to cast anyways against their lineup. He's hit 3 black holes or something in a row that have actually led to kills or won team fights. So for me, what I'd like to see from Chaos is a little bit more discipline. Don't have your silencer in a position where you can get caught like that. And they might just lose Weehaw here for free as he's going to get...
lassoed into the Fortune's end here. He's going to be popping his BKB and trying to run away with a refraction. The Blink Dagger's now up.
Why didn't 40R stun? They're chasing. Yeah, he didn't stun.
Well, they may still catch Weehaw anyway. The Batrider spots him out. 40R TP'd onto the shrine, looking for Weehaw. Fraction, fresh Blink Dagger.
I mean, Weehaw doesn't
no
have a
TP, though.
Yeah,
so he's dead eventually.
This took like 10 seconds longer than it had to, but it doesn't end up actually mattering as they do nab the kill, and they want to go on Leo here.
They can actually kill Leo. Telekinesis, toss back into the Tavo stun. There goes the Global Silence, deploying everything they have, but he gets off the Manta and the spin. That means he's magic immune to this epicenter. They do no damage. Now they have to retreat out for sure, as the Omni Slash is going to be able to bounce around, but HFN gets off the time lapse, and Shikuchi's away. Tavo burrow strikes through the right-hand side, blinks out, TP's away. Somehow, nope, they are going to lose somebody out of this. It's going to be Tavo. That was not a good idea for an engagement.
I can't believe they went for that. Like they know that Jug has Manta spin.
Yeah.
Like I said, until they get some sort of way to disable a Hex, something, you're not killing Leo. That felt like they were like, oh, let's go for some sort of trade here. But you're going for the hardest hero in the game to kill on the side of Pain. He's got 2,800 HP. I don't even want to talk about his armor. He's got Manta. He's got spin. Like there's so many defensive ways that he can reset that fight for himself. As HFN looked like he wanted to walk forward to try to kill the healing ward, and now it's Pain that are just going for the high ground. Very aggressive here. I really like this play. No waiting for the Aegis or anything like that. They see an opportunity to take a tower. They're going to go for it. I think now they should back up for the Roshan. There's still 25 seconds left on Tavo, who, even when he respawns, won't have the epicenter up. And your Jug will take this very quickly.
You know, I think that last fight was a great example of what's been going wrong for Chaos and this Global Silence the entire time. He's trying to use this Global Silence to put a Band-Aid over bad situations.
Yes.
Bad ganks.
That's a really good way to put it.
He's like, oh man, this was a terrible fight, but maybe it can be changed by me popping this Global Silence. Like, he feels pressured to do that, and Chaos just shouldn't be making these moves in the first place.
It's just two non-impact supports. Like we talked about in the beginning, they don't really deal damage. They're not scary to the Jug or the... because they don't deal damage. They're not scary to the Jug or the DK. Whereas Pain, like, yeah, their supports don't really have that same threat, but you try to counter this one support with two of your heroes, and 444 is just sitting back. He has cores that can deal damage and get in there. So he just sits behind. He has really value targets with this False Promise because they have so much heal. You've got the Dragon Knight's natural regen, the Jug's healing ward. It doesn't feel that bad not being able to deal damage. You can sit there and be a lot more passive than Chaos' supports have to be.
Sitting in the pit, but look at 40R. He is basically on patrol smoke duty right now. Anything he can do to spot Chaos trying to get inside the pit, but this is what we want to see from Chaos in the back line. HFN needs to try and kill this Oracle, but he is going to be stunned up by the Dragon Knight. Tavo also kind of missing his initiation as well. HFN forced to pop the time lapse. Won't have it for this fight. And Tavo, Yule Scepter goes down, but he's going to be pushed back down. Tavo's going to be able to get to low ground and barely survives. He's going to be purifying flames, healed a little bit. HFN still gunning for this Oracle, but the team is surrounding this Oracle, protecting him at all costs, and they are doing so. Tavo with the epicenter, trying to go for the Yule Scepter. The Yule Scepter is going to stop his initiation. Now the Black Hole controlling up Weehaw. He's not going to have the refraction because he gets bursted down by the Omni Slash. HFN gets bashed up. He is going to be able to get a little Shikuchi away. Tavo tries to go for a Burrow Strike, but 444 is back up to full HP. He survives through all of this. Every kind of poke and prod at him, and he survives. Misery's going to go for the telekinesis to try and slow down this bat right here. He stole Black Hole. Unfortunately, there's no damage behind it.
Oh, the tip while he's doing it. I mean, you just see the teamfight superiority right now in Pain. Their supports can just stand there.
Yeah.
Theo Licor is so farmed. He has so many different ways to actually teamfight without having to commit the Black Hole. And HFN just simply doesn't do enough damage to get to that back line in time. Whereas Leo is just, you can't pass through him. Same with 4DR. These are two immovable targets. They're making full use of their heroes. He's going to pick up the Aegis, grab the cheese for his DK, I'd imagine. And they are definitely in a winning position at this point. And again, I think it comes down to how Chaos approached the first few fights of the game. They did have an advantage when all three of their cores were quite strong. Like, even Tavo had a lot. He had Greaves, Yule Scepter blink at a really reasonable time. HFN was incredibly farmed. Weehaw had a BKB at a very good time, but it's just the way that everyone's approaching the team fight. Weehaw's getting really far away from the rest of his team, so he just sort of gets isolated out and killed. They were using the Global Silence way too early, so Theo got like 3 holes off in a row because, I mean, he was just reacting to the fact that there was no more Global. He's like, well, I guess I'm just going to cast it now. Gotta be more careful about taking these engagements. If you are Chaos, like maybe you get a few more attempts at this, like reasonably you get like 2 more good attempts, but your Weaver and your TA are going to fall off.
Sandstorm setting in with the Meld Strike. They're going to try and go for the double meld onto the Juggernaut, who's telekinesis right now, and he's going to be taking about half his HP pool. Tavo gets bashed up, trying to make his way back to the base with the Yule Scepter. He will be able to do so.
Just back up. That's Global committed.
Good enough.
Reset.
Now try and re-engage. Leeless doesn't get the lasso.
And Misery's going to steal the Firefly, but with Global Silence down, I think this is going to most likely embolden Pain. They've got Aegis Cheese. They have a lot of ways to fight, but their Dragon form is going to pop somewhat soon.
Yeah.
So this is actually going to force them back. And now some pings are coming out as Chaos. They know that the Bat Rider can't get there.
Got the Swarm jumping to the back line. Does immediately get the stun onto the Oracle, but he's able to get away. There he's going to be able to brought down. That is HFN down. He gets controlled up, and Omni Slash eventually rips through him. We're going to go back over to the Black Hole, which is now caught down too. Weehaw may be falling here as well, trying to get off a little bit of damage on Thea LaCour, but doesn't have a refraction up. Misery's dead as well. Here comes Tavo with the big epicenter, but no follow-up. He might kill an Oracle. Can't even do that much. Can't even kill the fight position, and that has been most of the last 10 minutes as Chaos trying and failing to kill this Oracle while the rest of Pain goes completely unimpeded.
You cannot kill anyone at this point. The damage just isn't there. When they did have the advantage, they just didn't do enough with it, and this game's just straight up over.
Yep.
So well done by Pain.
Very well done. I mean, when I think the best moments for me was Pain repeatedly defending their mid tower off of the Dragonite, just going, you have to go through me first, and the Oracle was always behind him. The only time they screwed that up is when they got a little sloppy and Oracle was
that was the only time we were just like, oh no, 40R definitely should have been there.
But for me, it felt like that was the game winner, right? Because next thing you know, Chaos has gotten into the pattern of the Oracle's going to save somebody. Well, how do we stop that? I guess we have to blow Global Silence. Then it means the Enigma's able to get the Black Hole in. It's just like this great story all set up from just this beginning engagement by Pain. They're going to be able to grab Weehaw, pull him back in. His refraction's already been burned down, bashed up several times. He tries to put the damage onto Leeless, but he has the cheese, so he's going to be able to heal up. They're going to dive the fountain because why not? You've just taken the big daddies in Chaos of the South American scene. Pain Gaming will eliminate Chaos here and move forward in the lower bracket.
And that was a very dominant game. Aside from like 1 or 2 hiccups that they ran into, again, it just comes down to, it's sort of draft related in the sense that like you commit both those supports to counter. So then you have 2 supports that don't deal damage against some of the tankiest cores in Dota. You have a DK, a Juggernaut, like neither of those guys care about Rubik and Silencer. Like those guys dink you. And then you have what is it? You have no way of canceling the Jug spin TP, but they still try to make that play anyways in that mid lane, where they was like Global Silence, Epicenter. Let's try to kill a Juggernaut and get through 2,800 HP before he pops his Manta spin. And the rest of his team got there. They lost heroes as a result. It was just little things like that that add up. They had like 6 fights in a row go completely wrong. Pain's a good team. Like they're going to take advantage of that, and they did.
Very well done by them. Pretty big weight off of their shoulders, being able to move farther on in the tournament. We'll have to see what our panel has to say about Pain Gaming 1-0 against Chaos.
Pain Gaming victorious here against Team Chaos. I bet there's a lot of shards that are lost on that match. What a game. And it just proves that when you're playing a best of one, your best bet is to just play it safe in terms of your draft. And I think that kind of is what maybe happened for Chaos here. It just wasn't as comfortable for them as it was for Chaos. Juggernaut, we talked about that hero pick, gentlemen. We talked about how that hero is just, good all the way around. You can play that almost in every game. And it just showed it was stable, it was secure, and they just cruised through.
Yeah, I think you said it best. Like this draft, right? This Enigma actually got really good black holes off, and we're like, there's no way he's ever going to. And then he gets, 3 of them off. They solo kill the Weaver. I don't know. That Enigma got way too much out of that game and played amazingly.
Yeah, they weren't able to really contest his farm too much, and as the game played at this slower, safe pace, it kind of ended up in this scenario where there's 4 cores farming on the Radiant side with this 4-position Enigma, and this Dire side have 3 farming heroes, and 2 of them, they're physical damage cores. Don't do much physical damage because there's a DK, the Halberd, and Jug is also a lot of stats, a lot of armor.
Yeah. Halberd and the armlet, right? Just the armor you get from that, that was a perfect build on that DK and the supports. The Oracle I think got picked off 1 time in a 40-minute game.
I must say,
very impressive.
That 444 is definitely the player that impressed me the most in that game. We have been talking about Tavo and his Sand King and how good he is. This is one of his best heroes, and he had a great game. The start of that game was amazing for him, and then at some point, that Oracle made sure that he didn't have a game. Any movement he made, any Yules, gone.
Fortunate, almost had the triple-double. 1 death off, but, was close. No, that was... and Theo, we go back to it. Enigma, you know what he's going to do. They knew what he's going to do, but he continued to do it. Leo, a.k.a. Mandy, only 1 death. And I like the item build, right? We saw so many first-hit bashes on that Weaver.
Item builds was such a big part of this game. I think everyone on the Pain side went kind of the right items, the safe standard choice. DK going this armlet, which is maybe not the standard item, but fit the game perfectly. Then the Dire side, we have Weeha's TA build, which was a Blink medallion. I didn't really like into BKB. Just felt like it didn't have enough damage without Deso. King RD, Silencer, Midas, you're 5 position. You can't get a Midas. No one's buying Midas in this patch. What are you doing? Particularly as a 5. The only heroes I think who could maybe justify Midas if you're like a carry who gets it really fast, like your life stealers.
And you see the Weaver doesn't have any items up there, but there was a lot of talk about he didn't get boots. He got 3 items. He never got boots. Didn't get treads in. A lot of us are like, treads are just an amazing item. The HP, the attack speed, just your downtime between Sakuchi. It was very strange on that, but hey, best of 1, regional play. Anyone can take it in Pain. They showed they can definitely take it.
There's a new king in South America.
Nah, maybe not yet.
They 3-0'd them, man. They 2-0'd them in the qualifier.
They did. But until you pass 1 DPC points, I ain't calling you the king.
Oh, they're gonna have to go pretty well this tournament.
If they do top 6, let's see it.
Their opponent is gonna be Liquid. It's gonna be.
I know. You see, Chaos beat Liquid and Pain beat Chaos, so
it's like they've already beat.
Got him.
Pain will beat Liquid. South American Dota. Gotta believe.
Yeah. No, that is gonna be a really tough matchup. But I mean, if they play this well, they played very calm and collected. You could tell they didn't make mistakes. They played, I don't want to say overly safe, but they definitely played pretty dang safe, and it worked out for them. So
yeah, like you saw them kill the Weaver. He had the die back, and they fell back.
Didn't push the tier 3, which they could have. But you know what? I mean, we saw lines through that the minor too. Just don't take any risks, and you'll eventually win.
And we didn't mind it too much because their draft was scaling better anyway. So it was I think they knew that they were just going to win if the game dragged anyways. They weren't in a rush.
Yeah, we weren't that upset, but I was just like, why not? Why not? But they won.
They did win, and we talk a lot about game tempo when we're talking about the games that are happening nowadays, and I feel like the tempo was set by Chaos, but it was they couldn't keep up with their own tempo. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it was that middle tower. They set this pressure. They actually took a lot of the top, bottom tower, and then that middle tower, they fought around it 4 times, and Chaos could never take it. It was really good defense by Pain.
Even when they won fights, and then it was followed up with Weeha making the big mistake of dying, trying to kill the tower. It was, that's the thing.
That was rough.
We didn't like the draft too much. The item decisions, I think, were a bit questionable, but there was also some individual mess-ups.
There was, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is all about best team making it to the top, right? And this game showed that at this moment in time, Pain Gaming tops Chaos.
As you said, the 3-0, they 2-0'd them in the qualifiers. They 1-0 them here, and they deserve to move on.
And Chaos will be a bit annoyed because their group stage, they start off really well. They actually beat NIP the first time they played.
Yeah.
They had that rematch.
They had a tough group. Secret and NIP in the same group.
But
Absolutely.
you beat one of them, and you know that's the problem though. You didn't beat them when it counted.
Indeed. And for now, this was the first win that Pain Gaming had this event. So far, they haven't had a single win yet.
Yep.
Let's find out what Leposa thought about that best of 1 against Chaos.
大家好，我是 Toki， 然后现在在我身边是 Pain Gaming 的 Lilies。Congratulations!
Thank
oh
you.
my god! You're finally done with best of 1s.
Yeah.
But that was a very intense game, a lot of back and forth. Can you walk us through a little bit through that game?
I mean, they were kind of on the clock, so the only thing we had to do is just not let them have Roche for free. So we just camped the high ground, and we knew they were going to come. And Sanser kind of falls off. Like, people say Sanser counters Enigma. It's not really true, because Enigma is not about the ulti, right? So we knew we had the game if it went, like, past 35 or something like that. And we just kept calm and played our game.
Keep calm, play Dota. I
Yeah.
like that. 我问了一下，就是上一把其实打来打去有来有回的，问一下他上一把是怎么的一个心理活动，然后他就说，其实他们自己心里明白，他们Chaos 的话其实是有倒计时的，他们能做的事情就是不让 Chaos 就是免费拿到肉山，然后所以他们就蹲在那里。然后他说，其实很多人都以为沉默是比较克制谜团，但是并不是。Although you did beat Chaos once in the best of 3 in the qualifiers, a lot of people would still favor Chaos in this matchup. How does it feel being the underdogs?
I mean, it's not a lot of pressure, honestly. We beat them, so we know we're capable of beating them. And when we're playing the game, there's not really any pressure. We're just playing another game. So there's no pressure, honestly.
我问了一下，因为之前在预选赛当中，他们是在 BO3 里面曾经击败过 Chaos， 但是在这场比赛当中，很多人并不看好他们的。作为不被看好的队伍进来的话，他说其实在游戏当中是完全没有压力的，因为就是正常打游戏就好。但是他们因为之前打败过 Chaos， 所以心里知道是有打败 Chaos 的能力的。You said that in the interview that you don't come into tournaments with expectations. Are you happy with your performance so far?
I mean, it's only a best of 1, right? We lost all our matches in the group stage. I think we could have done better versus Smoneski. I think versus VG, they're like really good. So it's hard for a team that's never been to a LAN to just beat the major winner, right? So, I mean, I'm not completely satisfied. It's only a best of 1. If we could still like win another game, win another series, then it would be pretty satisfying for me at least.
我问了一下，因为他说在采访当中，他说不会带着期待来打比赛，但是他对目前自己的表现满不满意？他说只赢了1场，但是非常开心，因为在小组赛他觉得他可以打 Mineski 就打得更好，然后面对 VG 就Major 冠军就赢了话。就不输了比赛的话不丢脸，然后他说现在赢了1场，其实没有太大的就想法。如果下一场还赢了的话，他会非常非常满意。Well, thank you so much, and good luck on your next round.
Thank you.
我们稍后还有更精。
Yes, play calm and collected because late game is going to be theirs anyway. We heard Leposa say it, we heard God say it. They were on the same wavelength there, and it seemed like, sure, they play with no pressure, but they want to win. They want to win more.
They do, and you feel good for someone like him, right? Because during the whole test 1, 2, 3 situation, right, they qualified to the CQ major. He's playing from his home, but he still gets that like taken away from him, right? And now see him go to a major and just, take a game, not be last place. That's awesome for him, especially.
Yeah, he's a great story this year. And
yeah.
Good to see them here performing well. Be a tough match next, but you never know.
Yeah, and I think like he's a very good player, right? I mean, the North Americans wanted to play with him. He's now leading this like team on Pain, right? He's doing the drafting and stuff, and now you're one step closer. You make that top 6 at this event. I know it's far away, but you never know, honestly, at this point.
It can be within it's within his grasp.
Yes.
And he's a very talented player, and it is a very talented region, and it's interesting to see how far he can actually go with the squad he has.
Agreed.
Let's see what it leaves us with the brackets, because elimination best of ones, they're almost behind us, but not entirely just yet. Of course, the upper bracket, we already had some games earlier today, but the lower bracket is where we are at right now. Pain Gaming, congratulations. You will be facing Team Liquid in the lower bracket, best of 3. But I'm kind of looking already forward a little bit more.
Oh, I am too.
Oh, yeah. That is going to be a scary one. Keen Gaming versus Fnatic. 2 teams.
Just one.
And these teams, we didn't expect them to see them here in the lower bracket. We're going to talk about that, of course, in a bit. And Gods, I don't believe we'll have you with us for that one.
I'm out of here.
Or me.
Oh, well, then I want to hear you guys' opinions. No, I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one.
I think Keen is very heavily favored in this matchup after watching how poorly Fnatic played in their group, because I don't think their group was as hard as Keen had. I think the group of death, right? They even took a game off Liquid very stompingly, but I think Keen has looked a lot better this tournament, so I'll base it off that.
I think Fnatic had a tough group, but they lost to the team that wasn't tough in their group.
Yeah.
They lost to Complexity.
Okay.
They had OG in their group, as well as someone else.
True. All the groups were tough.
Yeah.
No, but for me, Fnatic had a terrible day. They played absolutely rubbish Dota. Watched them so much throughout this DPC season. They've been in every major. They were, I think, top 8 of the first one. Then they got top 6. Another.
They were on and up for.
Yeah, they were doing better and better every tournament. In Sweden, they looked fantastic. And here they are, 4th place in their group, losing some really bad games against Complexity.
They lost to OG as the team that.
Yeah. They lost OG and then they lost to Complexity, but they had a bad day. And they're such a talented team. I think they're going to bounce back. I think it's a 50-50 series, and I'll, of course, side with SEA. So Fnatic.
Of course. You can. And at the moment, you guys can be biased because you won't be on the panel for it.
Oh, we can?
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm excited. I love watching Dark play. It's my favorite 5, so.
And I'm also going to side with a quick game so we can get our Battle Pass out. Thank you very much, Val.
Yes, that would be a great one. And for the Battle Pass to come out, we first have to play one more game of Dota 2. We're going to get to that after the break.
RD is a little bit too far forward here. I'm not sure what exactly that was. He really wanted... Burst strike. Lelis just going to go for it, see if he can run down King RD. He does have that last word on him. It's going to do a lot of damage, but not enough. He is going to be able to kill that silencer, and with the healing salve going off on him, the Burst strike's going to land, though. Tavo gets the kill. The board's going to come in from the side here, and they're going to go for Misery, so it looks like they're going to trade off supports. And he does with the helmet on.
Mid-tower is...
They just keep on trying to go for this Dragon Knight.
They get the jump, though.
This time around, the Oracle was directly behind the Dragon Knight, and they do get the jump out from Lelis to be able to pull Misery back, who grabs Lasso. 40R tries to go for the bounty runes here. The full amount of chaos is a beautiful Burrow Strike Epicenter. Look at that. It's going to take up the whole to the back line for the black hole. It lasts a little while, but eventually does go down here. The lasso was there to be able to grab that Weaver. Immediately buys back, time lapses back into the fight. So it is still 4 here from Chaos fighting into it. Another beautiful Burrow Strike lands on it too. Leo's taking so much damage. They are able to pop the shrine, so this false promise is going to be able to heal 40R back up to full. Weeha hiding away in his melt while Leo tries to go for the silencer. Is going to die to the last word. Tavo missed the Burrow Strike on a dead hero, now maybe dying to 40 yards. The Yule Scepter's going to buy him a little bit of time, but the Burrow Strike isn't back up, and he gets outside of vision. Now 40R has to turn and fight on someone else. Weeha has the refraction.
Nice.
He's onto the DK, and he wasn't able to get off a chain stun. The Omni Slash into the back line. They do have the black hole controlling up Weeha, making sure he doesn't get off another round of refraction. They just need a little bit more damage, and they do manage to get it. Turn back over. Misery's going to die as well here. Find Misery here, but bam. Tavo immediately jumps in, stops the Bat Rider, gets a stun on him. Weeha delivers a lot of damage to Lelis, but Lelis is still able to fly over to high ground. King RD is going to go down here, threw down the Global Silence because he needs full HP.
You've got to be on full retreat now if you're Chaos.
Yeah, they've got a bash. Tavo actually going for the stun here, but Leo... He's lost vision for a second. The Weaver is still down. He has into the Tavo stun. There goes the Global Silence, deploying everything they have, but he gets off the Manta and the spin. That means he's magic mirrored to this epicenter. They do no damage. Now they have to retreat out for sure, as the Omni Slash is going to be able to bounce around, but HFN gets off the time lapse and Shikuchi's away. Tavo Burrow strikes through the right-hand side, blinks out, TP's away. Somehow, no, they are going to lose somebody out of this. It's going to be Tavo. That was not a good team at all costs, and they are doing so. Tavo with the epicenter, trying to go for the Yule Scepter. The Yule Scepter is going to stop his initiation. Now the black hole controlling up Weeha. He's not going to have the refraction. He's going to get bursted down by the Omni Slash. HFN gets bashed up. He is going to be able to get a little Shukuchi away. Tavo tries to go for a Burrow Strike, but 444 is back up to full HP.
The Swarm jumping to the back line, does immediately get the stun onto the Oracle, but he's able to get away. There he's going to be able to run down. That is HFN down.
And we're going to go back over to the Black Hole, which is now caught down too. Weehaw may be falling here as well, trying to get off a little bit of damage on the Thea Lacour, but doesn't have a refraction up. Misery's dead as well. Here comes Tavo with the big epicenter, but no follow-up. He might kill an Oracle, can't even do that much. Can't even kill the 5 position, and that has been most of the last 10 minutes as Chaos trying and failing to kill this Oracle while the rest of Pain back in. His refraction's already been burned down, bashed up several times. He tries to put the damage on the Leeless, but he has the chi, so he's going to be able to heal up. They're going to dive the fountain because why not? You've just taken the big daddies in. Will eliminate Chaos here and move forward in the lower bracket.
好的，我们首先欢迎 SSS 跟 Abed 来接受我们的采访。那我们还是很开心能够在迪士尼乐园看到这么欢乐的老朋友，对吧？因为三边也是为数不多的，既是老板，既做过老板，又作为选手的，之前的那个 Faceless， 对吧？好，不是，但是在多个角色之间转换，那你自己是怎么样看待自己那段经历的？有没有对你后面打职业有什么帮助？
就知道赞助商可以跟他们要多少钱，也知道俱乐部赚或者亏多少钱多一点吧。就这个行业不是很好做，
还是做选手更容易一点点。
是的，就不喜欢跟赞助商谈话题吧，就不是不好，就是新的经历吧。
那因为现在作为你的老队友 B 神，就 Burning 现在也是一个队伍的老板，你有没有什么建议给他的，或者说让他小心什么事情？
他应该还好吧，他的经历应该比我多，就应该很难坑他的，他钱也比我多，他是土豪。
那因为Abed 也是第一个在之前打到过天梯10000分的选手嘛，那我们其实也很关心，就是对于他本人来说，认为一个天梯的分数对于一个选手的实力体现大概会占到多少，或者说在赛场上的一个状态体现。
Don't think it really means anything. I think the skill level for example 8K to 10K, I think, or you can say 7K. I think they're about the same. Yeah.
还是很友好的，所以你是7000多
，7500
啊，所以你让他把你涵盖在里面了，是吧？
是啊，就我不算嘛，打那么久了，是的。
我实在是不敢相信 Abed 不会被你欺负。那这一次你们来到这个 Major 是希望能够取得一个什么样的成绩？
前16吧。
我们一共就16支。
是的，因为过了这个 Major 就前16就进 TI 了呀。所以就这个比赛打得开心就好。
所以其实你们在保证自己积分能够进 TI 直邀的情况之下，还是想享受一下整个过程。
是的吧，因为去年跟今年的赛程比去年太紧了，然后就因为去
好的，我们欢迎欧的两兄弟接受我们的采访。那老十一跟老鸡也是好基友了，对吧？你们两个如果用一个词来形容对方的话，会去用什么样的词？
脖子长吧。
都在酒里。
哦，意思两个人其实还是互损的关系，对吧？那有段时间老十一你的 ID 里面欧的去掉了，这是什么一个情况？
因为鸡哥不在啊。
鸡哥去哪儿了？
不在一个队了呗。
不在一起了呀。
那所以现在回想起来，那段时间是不是觉得缺了点什么？
我觉得没缺啊。
我也觉得。
你们两个现在就是在这次 Major 是住在一间房的，对吧？
对。
啊，两个人就是彼此之间嘴上都不承认，叫刀子嘴豆腐心。啊，那我们也是发现老鸡的这个 old 是从来没去掉过，也叫了很长一段时间了。那有一些外国水友会比较好奇，当初是怎么把这个 old 加上来的呢？
就是刚打职业那会儿，觉得自己年纪比较大嘛，就加上去调侃自己一下。
真的吗？老十一你觉得呢？
我算老了，93年的
，93年
的，差不多了，算老选手了。
但是其实在，人生的这段旅程上，老十一是比老鸡走的比较靠前的，对吧？老十一你自己在家庭跟职业之间是怎么样去衡量的呢？
我就是一天24小时嘛，就是在打职业的时候训练、看录像、比赛，就是这些算是我的工作吧。然后我工作之外的所有时间就是回归家庭吧，就是这样。
那今天的话也是来到巴黎迪士尼 Major 的第2天，感觉怎么样？有没有比较轻松的感觉？
也挺轻松的吧，周围都是小朋友。
我只知道我的床头都是米老鼠的形状啊，
有种小公主的感觉。
是的，有点。